Testing. I just want to make sure this works. So I get the recording it. Let me see. Listen live. Join this space.
Loud and clear, brother.
Testing. I just want to make sure this works.
All right, say less.
So I get the
We're on like
recording it.
Donkey Kong.
Let me see. Listen live. Join this space.
Loud and clear, brother.
All right, say less. We're on like Donkey Kong. All right, how was everybody's
Hey,
day?
y'all, I'm here. Just on a conference call, but I'm here.
Yes, sir. So how was everybody else's day?
Hey, man, vertical, man. That's all we can say.
Yes, sir. Uh, ugh. That video thing pissed me off though.
I seen that, brother. I seen that. All right, we letting everybody file in. We got one ready to go, ready for the other one.
All right.
I'm gonna let a few more people file in, and then we're gonna set this off right.
Hold on. How did she just come in and leave?
All right, we got Marcel, we got Monique in here, Queen Alpha Kid Gravity. We're filing out. It's gonna be a real good debate, everybody. It's gonna be a real good one. It's interesting times, a lot of interesting things we got going on right now. But everything's going to be real thorough to the point. It's going to be very informative. It's going to be very real. Anybody who's familiar with Black Alpha Network, Kid Gravity's work, we keep everything thorough. We got two very thorough debaters in here, two different points of views, and it's going to be a real traditional debate. But at the same time, it's going to be modern. It's not going to be polished and prim and proper, but it's going to be very, very effective, and everybody's going to have a real good time. So if everybody in the space right now could share this, that'd be great. And everybody's filing in, but we're going to set this off here in about 2 or 3 minutes. All right, brother Kid, anything you want to put on the line for everybody?
All right, y'all. Like Black Alpha said, let's keep it respectful. Let's keep it entertaining, but also let's keep it informative. Now, these are going to be the rules. Right now, Marcel and Monique, they are going to have their debate. We are going to, after they're finished, we're going to ask them 3 or 4 questions. After that, we'll start inviting people up. I will give the signal. You guys start getting in the queue. We will limit this go around this time because Black Alpha and I are going to do a recap on our channels right after this. So if Monique and Marcel want to jump into that, that's fine. Just to give their thoughts on how it progressed, you guys can join us over there. But for this one, yes, we're going to try to limit it because we know we started a little late, and people's Mondays are coming up, and got to hit the plantations or get some rest. So just be mindful of that.
That's a good start, brother. And I want to add this. Everybody who's familiar with the last debate between Brother Will, who I see in here, shout out to you. Brother Rich, shout out to him as well. Everybody who's familiar with that knew that was a great debate. It did about 2.1 thousand views on YouTube and Twitter altogether. So it did real big numbers. A lot of people liked it, and everyone asked for another one. And since the people asked for it, here you go. We're going to deliver every single time, Black Alpha style. So this is going to be a real solid debate. We're going to push these numbers even further. But like I said, it's just different points of views, different perspectives. But we're going to take the Black experience and we're going to take it to another level because we're living in interesting times where a lot of serious things and our plight and what we're going through right now is very, very real. So the words that we speak, the actions that we commit are all going to be thorough. They're all going to have a point and they're all going to be effective. So right now, I'm going to give the floor to Kid Gravity and let him set this thing off. Let the two debaters introduce themselves. I'm going to salute everybody in the room. Like I said, if you can share this, let's do this. Black Alpha Debates are going to keep on coming and keep on coming. So make sure you subscribe to my channel on YouTube and follow me here. Same goes for Kid Gravity, and let it go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a B1 space. This is an FBA space. Friedman, ADOS, however you call it, the number one word is black. We're not going to be like those other places. We ain't going to be savages in here. So, this is the second edition of the Black Alpha Debates. Now, as Black Alpha said, we did our first one with Brother Will Leffridge and Brother Rich. Went very well. People are still talking about it to this day. But of course, the topic of reparations came up in that one, and it came up again because everybody wants to talk about reparations. White, black, green, Sailor Moon, the whole lot of them. They want to talk about reparations. So what better way to do the second one than talk to someone who is about reparations? And through that first debate, we found someone who said that they are against reparations. So we have brought on South Carolina 6th District Congressional Candidate Greg Marcel Dixon, who is trying to unseat Jim. I use 3-year oil for the fish fry Clyburn. So everyone, please make sure you follow him and donate to the cause. Because if you're about reparations, this is a candidate that has come to the grassroots and made sure that he put his paperwork forward and it was vetted, and we all support him. So please support the brother in kind. And we also have Miss Monique Worthy, who has stated, like I said, in the first debate that she was against reparations, but not knowing too much about her, we're going to give her an opportunity to lay out her position, and then we're going to have them both answer some questions, have meaningful dialogue, and then, like I said, we'll bring up a few speakers, let them answer their questions, and we'll all be better for this. But let's kick it off. So, in the spirit of, courtesy and everything, we will allow Miss Monique Worthy to go first. She has about 2 minutes to introduce herself to everyone and lay out her case. So, Miss Monique, you may unmute your mic and go ahead.
I don't even think I need 2 minutes. Y'all can go to my page and see who I am. No need for an introduction.
Quick and to the point. Say less. Okay. Brother Marcel Dixon, you may unmute your mic and introduce yourself to the people.
Monique, that sounded like a challenge. So I'm gonna keep it even shorter than you. Y'all can just go to my page and find out who I am. Boom, boom, boom. How you like that?
Y'all are respecting the time. That is what I like.
It's going down tonight. It's going down tonight. Let's get
keep it going. All right. First question, and this Black Alpha and I came up with in light of what happened yesterday. First off, prayers to the victims of that white supremacist temper tantrum. But considering how black people are treated in this country for the past, since the so-called Big Bang, do you believe that foundational black Americans deserve a hate crimes bill? We shall start with Miss Monique.
I was going to ask a question first, and I think it was literally just answered. That question was going to be, what is a FBA? And I'm guessing it's a foundational Black American. So can y'all tell me what a foundational Black American is?
I can
Brother
say that.
Marcel, I'll let you have that
I'm
one.
sorry. Post, I want to say, I know this is formatted as a debate, but from how I've heard y'all explain things, being that you said Monique said that she's against reparations, but she admits she doesn't know much about it, and like she doesn't recognize the acronyms. And I'm saying this respectfully. I think this is more of a conversation. Maybe it seems like it needs to be, and then maybe a debate. But that's what it seems like.
You
It
know what,
sounds like
Brother Marcel?
Objection, Your Honor. First of all, I never said I didn't know what reparations was. I said I didn't know what the hell of FBA was. Now tell me what that is.
Actually, that's what he just said, man. He said
that's
since you
actually what
didn't
I just
understand what the
said.
acronym was, this should be a conversation, not a debate.
Right, and I said that you admitted you didn't know much about reparations. So, Your Honor, please get my words right.
I don't
You're going to
remember
quote me.
saying I didn't know nothing about no reparations. I know about reparations. I'm not with it.
No,
Okay,
I didn't say you didn't know about it. I said that it was said, not you said that you didn't know a lot about it, admittedly. That's what I heard the host said, Your Honor.
Calm down, baby. It's just a debate.
I mean, I'll calm down when you calm down, but hey, if you get hype, I get hype.
Okay. Yes. This is why you should be subscribed to the Black Alpha Network and Kid Gravity, because you get things like this. Okay, Black Alpha, this is your baby. So how do you want to approach it? Do you want to do the debate or the conversation?
Can you repeat the question? I done forgot what it was now.
Okay, I said, in light of what happened yesterday with the mass shooting in Buffalo, should foundational Black Americans have a hate crimes bill like the other races do?
Can I start that?
Yes, ma'am. Ladies first. Yes, ma'am.
Can you give me an example of another hate crimes? I mean, I thought we had all kinds of hate crime laws.
Yes, ma'am. Well, if you remember last year, 2021, after those Asian spa employees were killed by that white boy down here in Atlanta, where I live, Biden came out in a press conference and gave them not only $50 million in their coffers, but he also gave them an anti-hate task force. So what we've seen over these past hundreds of years is every other group except us get protections from law enforcement and the government, but we seem to be the ones that always ask for it and never get it. Because we all know if you do something to the J Squad, you're going to prison. If you do something against the A Squad, you're going to prison. You do something against Asians, you're going to prison. But it always seems when you do something to Black people, it's a Sunday night.
And as I see it now, I mean the guy that did what he did yesterday, I think he's been charged with hate crimes, and I don't understand what the point is with this question, because it seems like something is being done. What more do we want done? I'm confused.
I understand that, but I also I was born and raised in New York, and I know with the hate crimes how they legislate in New York. Hate crime just means, hey, I'm gonna get your name on the docket, and we're gonna lessen your charge. That's basically, especially when it comes to Black people, that's all that means. Nothing's going to be done tangibly. He ain't going to do life. I'm already going to predict this. If anything, his lawyer is going to say that he crazy and he going to go to the puzzle factory.
Well, hang his ass then. Just hang him. But no, for real though, I think since it's a New York thing, I think you have a trifecta in New York right now. So I mean, you need to be up there at your state capitol talking to your legislators and your governor and let them know, hey, we need y'all to up the stakes in this a little bit.
Yes, ma'am. So let's get back to the question then. So do you believe that FBA should have a hate crimes bill like the other groups?
I believe there are already hate crimes legislation on the books. So no.
Say less. Marcel Dixon, you may answer that question too. Do you believe that FBA should get a hate crimes bill like the other races?
Even if the other races didn't have them, first of all, Native Americans are a protected class. And even though the COVID-19 hate bill was written, at least the language in the policy was written all inclusive. If you read the legislative text in the bill, they specify Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. And I find that quite disgusting because they can never mention Black people without saying Black and brown or people of color or minority coalition. So my answer is obviously yes. And I would say even if other groups did not have hate crime legislation specifically for them, I would say that we, Black Americans, freedmen or foundational Black Americans, which I feel is the social equivalent, we would still be deserving of a hate crime bill because no other group has the history of over 400 years of specified, specific terrorism targeted towards us that we have. We have a unique history in this group. We are a unique ethnicity. We have a unique lineage, and therefore our history warrants us getting special protection.
Monique, would you like to rebuttal that?
That was a lot of speak that I did not quite understand. There's no rebuttal needed. He got it. I still say no.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, I appreciate that. Great way to start out. Let's keep it going. All right. Now, I guess this is the question that everybody wants to know. So we'll start off with Brother Marcel on this. What is your position on reparations? Are you for them or against them?
Check my webpage, like Monique said. Check my webpage, y'all. Y'all know I'm for them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have to do it for formality's sake. We have to do it for formality's sake. Miss Monique, it's on you. What is your position on reparations for foundational Black Americans? Are you for them or against them?
The easy answer would be to say I'm against them. But since I'm not an easygoing person, let me just go ahead and say this. I would be for reparations if it targeted the people who we want reparations against. If we feel we was done wrong by slavery, we need to go after what do you call them? Descendants of slaveholders. We need to go after the Democrat Party. If with a reparations bill, we can go after the Democrat Party and get reparations specifically from them, from that party, specifically from people whose ancestors owned slaves, I'm all with it. Ain't no way I could be against it then.
All right. Cool. Brother Marcel, would you like to rebuttal that?
Oh, definitely. I mean, so Monique, who protects us? Who's supposed to uphold our constitutional rights? It's the federal government that has that responsibility. So even though, yes, it was individual people and families in South Carolina had the most slaveholding families, they were only allowed to do that because the federal government allowed them to do so. The federal government allows some states to become slaveholding states and some states to be free states, which the truth of the nature is slavery was completely diametrically opposed to what our country was supposed to be founded upon in the Declaration of Independence and in the U.S. Constitution. So the federal government is what has the responsibility of paying reparations to us because all of the wealth we generated, it made not just those individual enslavers wealthy, it made our country wealthy. They benefited from us using not just our physical power, but our intellect from building the roads, the railroads, the irrigation. Rice alone here in South Carolina was the first source of significant wealth for the 13 British colonies and the U.S. government. So we are owed reparations from the federal government, not from any solitary citizen. But I would agree with you that heck, yeah, well, we could go after them too. And yeah, the Democratic Party, I'm not going to defend them, but the federal government owes us reparations. And therefore, they have that responsibility, not any individual American citizen.
Yes, sir.
Realize that it was with that same federal government that we were able to get rid of slavery. So no, it wasn't the federal government. It was who was running the federal government at the time. Who was running the federal government at the time when all this was going on? It was Democrats. Democrats prevented all of this. Democrats prevented us from being free. Democrats prevented us from having certain freedoms after we were free. When you look at Black people's history, everything you look at that has been wrong to us, everything you look at that has kept us down in ages, even to this day, is the Democrat Party. And guess who we still vote for? The Democrat Party. If you want your reparations, go and get it from the Democrat Party. It was the same federal government that the Democrats held that kept us enslaved, that ended up being the same federal government that Republicans ended up holding, that ended up getting us free. So no, you can't just go back and get it from you. I can't even think of a word right now for this. It's stupid to say the least. To say you just gonna go and blanket get it from everybody, even people who didn't have nothing to do with it, people who even fought to free us, to help free us, to help get us the certain freedoms that we have today. It's wrong. It's like you want a free ride, go to somewhere like one of them countries that got socialism everywhere, where they just giving away stuff for free everywhere. Everybody paying 80% of their wealth to the government. 80% of every dollar you own is going to the government. Go somewhere like that and try to see. Let's see where the Black folks sat down in South America. Let's see how they doing down there. How many of them down there asking for reparations?
So you are welcome to respond to what I say, but you are not allowed.
I believe I did.
Excuse me. You are not allowed to make up things and say that I said them. I am going to repeat what I said. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You said that we get reparations from each citizen. I just sat here and told you reparation does not come from any American citizen. It comes from the American government. But let me go and check the things you said before. You said it was that same federal government that ended slavery. So hold on. If the same federal government in which the Republicans were part of ended slavery when they inherited the government, then please tell me, why is it that this same federal government does not inherit the debt that same Republican government that ended slavery said they were going to pay? Abraham Lincoln agreed and signed Special Field Order 15 that was supposed to pay Black Americans 40 acres in a mule. You just said the Republican government ended slavery, and because they inherited it from the Democrats, and because they inherited from the Democrats, they took the responsibility to end it. So how come now you are saying that when this same government inherits the debt that they were supposed to pay us, somehow they don't have the right to do it? Why is it that the Republicans of today are against reparations? And first of all, Monique, let me be very clear to you. You will probably be surprised that I agree with some of the things you said. Absolutely, you're right. The Democrats have failed Black Americans. You are absolutely right that Black Americans foolishly just give their votes away to the Democrats, while the Democrats are doing policies for people who are not even Americans, illegal immigrants. Just now, I am running against Congressman James Clyburn. They may not know that. He won't even say the word Black about this massacre that happened in Buffalo, New York. And yet, that is a man who is in a majority Democratic district, a majority Black district, and he won't even bring himself to say the words Black. But when Asians were gunned down, not only did he specify Asians, he also specified policies to protect them. He won't do that for us. So I agree with you completely on a point you make about the Democrats. Just please be aware of that. You aren't saying anything to me, which I disagree with in that case. But the point you made, that the federal government freed us underneath the Republicans, that means you agree with the same foundation of why the federal government today owes Black Americans. Because when you take over or you are a representative in a federal government, you assume the responsibilities of dealing with whatever issues that federal government inherited. You assume the responsibilities of dealing with whatever damage or whatever effects the decision of the past federal government had. So if it was true then in the 1800s, it's definitely true now. Abraham Lincoln, the Republicans like to say to the party of Lincoln, Lincoln supported reparations. Lincoln didn't cause slavery, okay? But he really wasn't even trying to end it. He didn't want it to spread. But when the Civil War happened, and after speaking to Frederick Douglass, it became about slavery. Abraham Lincoln not only ended it, he was going to pay us reparations. He was murdered before he can do it. So now the people in charge of the government now, they've inherited the responsibility not of ending slavery, but paying the descendants of those people who were enslaved the reparations that the federal government should have done and would have done had Abraham Lincoln not been assassinated. And just another note, reparations is more than just about slavery. It's about all the things that happened after slavery too. But I'll wait to see if we get there with another question.
Okay, that was a lot, and you speak pretty loudly. I done turned my volume down. I don't know how many times, and you still blurt through the phone. Calm down, baby. Now, what I will say, well, it comes through.
We loud down here. We loud down here. Look, I get turned up about my people. I get turned up about my people. Okay?
Yeah, we see. We'll turn down a little bit. Turn down just a little bit.
All right, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try
let me reserve the little hairs that's left in my ears, please. What I wanted to say, it probably escaped my mind now. I'm against reparations, and I'm against the federal government paying out reparations because it is coming not from individual picked out citizens, it's coming from everybody who pays taxes. Everybody who pays taxes. It will come from that. What you need to do for your reparations is march down to the DC CCC, whatever it's called, and let them know, hey, all this money y'all got that y'all getting from these billionaires who funding y'all campaigns and stuff like that, give it to us. Let us have it. Let us grow some wealth from it. Because all y'all doing is getting it, keeping it, and using it to further keep us down. That's all it's used for. Don't take my little bit of tax-paying money that goes to the federal government to just give it back to me.
All right, this is lively. This is flame right now.
Hey, hold on now. Quick. Wait, I gotta Okay, I don't get to make a rebuttal.
Everybody, okay. I will give you a chance, Brother Marcel. Everybody, I done told y'all, let us get through the debate. Then we're gonna start allowing people to get the question to request for questions. So please go back to listener mode. Please. I'm messing up my footage and Black Alpha's footage, and Black Alpha love his footage. So please go back into listener mode, please.
Everybody make sure that you share this if you're in the room, and make sure you subscribe to the Black Alpha Network, Kid Gravity, Brother Afro Elite. Make sure you subscribe to all of us right here, right now. Let's keep this thing going.
Brother Marcel, you may speak.
So one thing I want to ask you, Miss Monique, and then I'm gonna make a rebuttal. Do you disagree with all the reparations or settlements that Native Americans have received from the government because of past harms? Because last time I checked, I wasn't the one who stole their land. I wasn't the one who participated in the massacres. Matter of fact, really no Black American was. Those were the white European settlers who did that. Do you agree with the fact that Japanese get reparations? I wasn't the one who threw them in internment camps, yet they got it. Do you agree with the fact that Holocaust survivors get reparations in Israel? Because I know a lot of Republican people like to holler and scream, protect Israel. Israel gets billions, trillions of dollars, if you consider the entire history, from us in the U.S. What the hell I got to do with Israel?
Those aren't reparations.
Oh, what do you call it then? What do you call it? Tell me what you call it then. But hold on, before you answer that, Miss Monique, tell me what you call it. But before you answer that, let me respond to. Let me say that you really don't know what reparations is but I'm about to tell you. One, I'm going to shoot down this Republican lie. And I hate the Democrats too. The Democrats do it as well. So let me say, I'm going to shoot down this Republican and Democratic lie that they like to use, because you are absolutely right. And I'm trying to talk lower for your ears, okay? I really am. You are absolutely right that they do keep money for themselves and they need to be giving it to the people. But let me tell you something. State governments run on taxes. Federal governments do not. And I'm about to prove it right now. One, if you talk to any chairman of the Federal Reserve, Ben Bernanke, Alan Greenspan, one was from a Republican administration, one was from a Democratic administration. One was in front of a Republican-led Congress and told Paul Ryan, this was a Republican, this was Alan Greenspan. He said that the federal government can never not pay its bills. Ben Bernanke said the federal government can never run out of money, because the truth of the matter is the federal government is a currency creator. The United States of America is a monetary sovereign, like a few other countries of the world, like the Japanese. It can never run out of money, and it does not need taxes to generate revenue. Actually, the federal government generates the revenue that is used to help finance industries that leads to people being able to pay taxes. The federal government, before you start talking about that simply refers to when the federal government spends money but doesn't take it back in taxes, which they don't need. But what we call debt is really what's called yellow dollars, treasury bonds, that the federal government allows banks, credit unions, even other countries to buy, and they pay them interest on that. But whenever they want, they can replace those yellow dollars, the bonds, with green dollars, and they do, and they have. And here's further proof. I know you are a fan of Donald Trump, and this may surprise you. There are some things with Donald Trump which I definitely agree. I agree. He even said Black Americans rebuilt the nation, but never got any credit for it. Those are Donald Trump's words. He was for keeping these illegals out of our nation. So there are some things which I absolutely agree with him. But during the administration of Donald Trump, we saw unemployment double from 300 a week to 600.
We're trailing off
No. I'm
other
trying to let you
territories.
see. No. Hey, I can't finish. I can't finish.
Can
I finish, though?
let me say, I am not.
Can I finish,
I
though?
am not, and will
Can
never
I
support
finish?
reparations. That is
No,
that
I'm not
you
trying to
will
make you.
not
I'm just
change my
shutting down the
mind.
lies. I'm just shutting down the lies. I'm just shutting the
Family, what we're not
lies,
going to
the
do is
lies,
interrupt
the
people when they
lies.
talk.
I'm
Please
just
don't interrupt unless let them finish. Please, Brother Marcel, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but please let
no.
him finish.
I'm about to land.
Yes,
But
sir.
the lies. I'm just shutting down the lies. Donald Trump sent out not one, not two, but 3 stimulus checks. They doubled unemployment. They pretty much bailed out the airline industry that pretty much flaunted its money. We did that during historic tax cuts. Donald Trump cut taxes to his lowest rate in history. Now, we were still able to do that while still spending $20 billion a month on wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. So tell me, if the American federal government needs taxes to pay reparations, how come they didn't need taxes to finance these vaccines? How come they didn't need taxes to pay out these stimulus checks? How come they didn't need taxes to bail out the airline industry? How come they didn't need taxes to send out the trillions of dollars in the PPP loans? How come they didn't need taxes to still fight these wars overseas? How come they didn't need taxes to bail out the airline industry? We did all of those things, spending over trillions of dollars doing a historic tax cut. The truth of the matter is the federal government does not need taxes to pay any bill, and they do it all the time. It's only when Black Americans say you owe us do they start saying, well, from where are we going to get the money? But for any other thing, they have the money. So we are not punishing any citizen. We're going to the federal government to pay its bills, something they can do, and they can do that because of Black Americans who built the nation.
Miss Monique,
Everything the government pays for comes from taxes. Now, I don't know if you've mastered government 101, but every dime the government spent don't come from a tree. It comes from you and me. Okay? Do you understand that? It's not a trick question. It's not a trick meme or nothing. When the government spends money it doesn't have, it has to borrow from another nation. China seems to be that nation most favored by the American government to get money from. But the money has to come from somewhere. It comes from us. Okay, we end up having to pay that back. The interest on the debt, we have to everything we buy, we spend as a federal government comes from why don't you understand that? Why don't liberals understand that? I move that we go to the next question, please.
Ooh,
Say
no,
less, say less, say less.
no,
Wait a minute, brother Marcel.
no, no,
Wait a
no,
minute,
no,
brother
no.
Marcel. No, no, no. I feel you, ma'am. There's not a lot of liberals in this room.
I'm about to say
There
liberal,
ain't
Monique.
no
That's a
liberals
dirty
up in this
word.
room. But this is B1 society. B1 is not liberal, but we gonna get you right. Don't worry. We gonna like I
No,
said. This
Monique.
space is for information reciprocity. So we gonna get you right. But let's keep
No,
it going because I know this next question is going to be, ooh, it's gonna be a barn burner.
I gotta just do this real quick, Monique. Liberals hate me. Okay, liberals want me to support abortion. Okay, liberal organizations have dropped me, okay, when they were supposed to help me get fundraisers for my campaign because I don't support abortion, something I know you and I may which we agree. I don't support illegal immigration. Hell, I'm for lowering levels of legal immigration, and I'm not for these crazy gun confiscation laws. So liberals hate me. So Monique, I'm gonna look up you and I'm gonna look on your page, and I want you to look on my page. And we might agree more than what we disagree. But I'm just gonna go back, Monique. I'm just gonna say we can move to the next question. The federal government does not need taxes to pay its bill. Never has. And Trump showed us that when he was spending trillions of dollars while still having historic levels of tax cuts. If the federal government want to get rid of its current debt, it can do that. And you know why we can do that? Because we stopped using solid, tangible gold as our currency a long, long, long time ago. I also want to say this. China does not have our debt because we have to borrow from them. China has our debt because we import more from China than we export to them. So we just simply pay them in those same yellow dollars that we like to call debt. We pay them in treasury bonds and we pay them interest. But at any time America wants, they can pay them with those green dollars and take the US treasury bonds back. America has done it before. Other countries do it too. The UK, France, Japan. You say government 101. I need you to take government financing 101. They can pay reparations. There is no excuse. The only time they say how we going to pay for it is when it's time to do something for Black Americans. But the Democrats that you would agree with when I say this, when they are filling their money, their pockets with billions of dollars, and Republicans doing it too, no one ever asks from where did the money come. I can tell you from where it came, the federal government.
Yes, sir. Okay, like I said, folks, y'all need to follow Black Alpha Debates. We're gonna have these every so often, and you can see that the information is lively, and you might have learned something that you didn't learn 2 hours ago. But let's keep it going, because like I said, this next question, I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with Monique on this one. Monique, now, I saw on your page that you're a Republican. Do you believe that both parties are racist?
I believe there's racism in everywhere you look is somebody's got. I don't believe that there is systemic racism. I will say that a lot of people seem to believe in. I don't believe there's a such thing as systemic racism. I do believe that you can find racism anywhere, but it's not systemic, is what I
Okay, okay.
believe.
Well, I didn't ask about systemic. I just want to know between the Democrats and the Republicans, do you believe both parties are racist? Not talking about systemic racism.
No,
Okay. Brother Marcel, you may answer.
Until Black Americans are paid reparations, which is the only reason that we're to the bottom because we haven't gotten it yet. But this country did it for Native Americans, Japanese Americans, Holocaust survivors, women in Guatemala that were forcibly sterilized, something that happened to Black Americans too. Until they do that, yes, both parties definitely are anti-Black.
All right. Monique, would you like to rebuttal that?
There was nothing to rebut. I don't believe both. Well, I do believe one party is racist via their policies, as he said, and that's the Democrat Party.
May I say something real quick, Kid Gravity?
Yes, go ahead.
I would actually agree with Monique that the Democratic Party is actually more anti-Black. I will definitely go with her on that one. You know why I would say that? Because every time I criticize the Democratic Party, yes, I'm running as a Democrat. No, I will not make any apologies. And yes, I'm not going to change any of my party affiliation. And yes, I am going to stay in the Democratic Party. Whenever I criticize the Democratic Party, the first thing some Democrats, and those are people who are Democrats, but they don't do a damn thing for Black Americans. And the first thing, the Democrats, the Black people who think that they're Democrats and they're not Black, the first thing they want to say to me is, well, what about the Republicans? Black people don't vote for the Republicans. 95% of us vote for the Democrats. So I find it quite offensive that when we start demanding policies for our votes, the Democrats say, look at the Republicans. I'm sorry, that's like telling me if I bought something from Walmart and the product is defective and I take it to Walmart, Walmart tells me, well, look at Target. I didn't buy my product from Target, I bought it from you. So if I have to say, I do agree, Monique, that the Democrats are definitely more anti-Black party because the Republicans aren't getting our votes and then saying we're not gonna do a damn thing for you. The Democrats are, and I'm running to change it from the inside.
Ms. Monique, would you like to add to that?
Lovely said. Very well put. I'd like to add nothing to it.
All right. Cool. All right. Let's keep it rolling. This will be the last question because I see a lot of people want to come up and start asking questions. And I feel like we should let the people have their say. Because,
hey, Brother Kid.
Yes, sir.
Brother Kid, before you go, I got to throw this question in here, and I've been dying to ask this question to Mrs. Monique. And I will, propose the question to both, but this is the question right here. The question is, because this made news headlines, somebody came out and said this, and it's been major dispute. Do you believe, and this is for you, Mrs. Monique, do you believe that Black-on-Black crime is a bigger issue in the United States of America than white supremacy?
Definitely.
Please elaborate and explain for the listeners.
When I go outside, I stay in a predominantly Black neighborhood. We hardly see any white folks over here. When we have issues over here, it's not because of white people. It's not because of white supremacists. It might be because of white politicians, but it's not because of white supremacists. We ain't got no white folk over here causing us no harm. When two of my friends recently died, gunshot wounds. Who shot them? Black folks they grew up with. White folks not in my neighborhood. If they is, they just as broke as us and trying to get it just the same way we trying to get it. Ain't no white supremacy in a Black neighborhood to keep Black people down. Now, what happened yesterday? That was horrible. That was tragic. It was, but that's not in every Black community. That's not our problem. Our problem is us. Our problem is the areas we are in. We don't have, our schools are shit. We don't have jobs. We got public transportation, but we need cars. We need gas powered cars while they trying to force these expensive ass electric cars on us. I mean, it's white supremacy is not our problem, and I'm gonna stand by that. It's black on black crime is a worse issue right now than white supremacy. You don't hear about white supremacy until the news say something about it. Until the news come on telling you how scared of the white person you need to be, you don't think about no white person.
Brother Marcel, I know you want a rebuttal. Everyone is anxious to hear your rebuttal. Go ahead, family.
Well, I'm going to say something first that might shock some people. I'm going to say it again. There are some things Monique is saying that I actually agree with. She made a very good point. I know what people called onto it. She said that the conditions in our neighborhoods, she said white people are not the problem, but white politicians are. Okay, I'm glad she's acknowledging that that the policies that have been passed by majority white politicians historically are directly responsible for the conditions we face in our neighborhood. I want to say that. I also want to bring up, Monique, you just kind of explained why black on black crime is just an anti-black myth. You said that in your neighborhood, you live in a majority black neighborhood, as do I. You say you rarely see any white people. Same with me. I see them at my job, maybe when I'm going grocery shopping, but when I'm in my neighborhood, I rarely see any white people. That is the reason right there why we're more likely to be harmed by a black person. Now, if we were living in a white neighborhood, we'll be more likely to be harmed by a white person. The majority of crime is intraracial. 86% of white people are going to be victims, are going to be victimized by a white person. 92% of black people are going to be victimized by a white person. But here's the thing I want to bring out. Here's what's never said. A black American person, as much as people like to talk about some black on black crime, according to the FBI data, and Monique knows this, the FBI was brought into existence as the Bureau of Federal Investigations primarily to frame black civil rights leaders. And I know Monique will agree with me, that was done by the Democratic Party of that time. Even then, from then to now, black Americans commit less than 1% any given year. A black American less than 1% of the black American population will commit a violent crime. That's less than 1%. So this idea that black on black crime is some massive problem, the truth of the matter is crime is a problem. And I understand because I have had relatives that have been shot, that have been murdered too, and some of them have been by another black person. It didn't bring me any comfort that I know that this is not the majority of black people. I get that. The same way it doesn't bring a white person any comfort when their loved one is shot, killed, or harmed by another white person. The truth of the matter is people only want to give crime a color when it is black people doing it. We don't say white on white crime. We don't say Asian crime or yellow on yellow crime. We don't say, I don't know who these brown people are. But the Democrats always refer. Monique, maybe you know that, you can tell me. Whoever the brown people are, we don't say brown on brown crime. We only want to give crime a color when it is black people doing it. And that right there is inherently anti-black. Second of all, let's talk about the fact that they have I think it's called the Freedom Project, which focuses on exonerating people that have been wrongly convicted.
Hey, real quick, Black Alpha, Kid Gravity, whoever running this, listen. He making these marathon statements. I be done forgot what I need to say in the process of what he's saying. You got to break up these marathon statements now, because I need to jump in when I need to jump in.
You can go in if you want. We're not stopping.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get to the point, Monique. Okay, I'm gonna get to the point. Okay, let me get to the point. So, damn, I forgot what I was gonna say. Okay, yeah, okay. So, the Freedom Project, over 60% of the men wrongly convicted of a crime are black. When you include black women, that's over 70% of people wrongly convicted are black people. So we talk about black on black crime. There's a good chance that a black person didn't even commit the crime, but was wrongly convicted for it.
I don't know.
You can have all the time you want, Miss Monique.
I don't know what neighborhood you staying in, and I don't give a darn hell about these statistics you bringing up. I'm saying what I see with my own eyes. With my own eyes in my own neighborhood, ain't no white person out here slaying blacks by the tens of hundreds. Ain't none of that going on. When I'm in my neighborhood, my car got broke into. When I was staying in the white folk neighborhood, I ain't had no issues. I wouldn't even call it the white folk neighborhood. When I was staying in a nicer neighborhood, I didn't have no issues. When I moved to where I am now, my car got broken into, stereo system stolen out of it. A Mexican guy that stayed down the stairs from me had his car broken into and was beat up and jumped by 4 black guys. I don't know what statistics where you getting these statistics from. And if it's the FBI, as you say, they wrong. They not in these neighborhoods. They don't know what's going on. When these folks out here getting convicted of these crimes, they did the shit. It happened. They did it. Black folks out here getting knocked off every damn day by other black folks. When a white person do it, it's all over the news as a hate crime. As this white person has something against this black person. But every day in this neighborhood, somebody black is getting. I stay in Fort Worth, Texas. In Dallas last night, I think it was two people died in Dallas last night, and one person here in Fort Worth, both of them black. And once everything come out, it's gonna most likely be a black person that killed them. I'm not saying white crime is not an issue. What I'm saying is to black people, white people ain't got nothing to do with us. This our own issue out here. This our own area. This our own shit that we sitting in. Stop blaming white folk for the problems that we got in our neighborhoods.
Okay. First of all, you actually blame white people, and you were right. You said that white politicians' decisions have caused the conditions that are prevalent in black neighborhoods. Second of all,
they did. When you look at their policies, yeah. But at the same time, who is it that put those white people in them offices? Who is it that keep electing them white people?
Hey, Marcel, let her rock and then jump right back on the rebuttal. Go ahead, Monique. Go ahead, say what you're saying, and Marcel, come right back.
Go ahead.
Hey, you said yourself that it was policies done by white Americans that lead to the bad schools and the resource-deprived neighborhoods in which black Americans live. Second of all, what correlates with white? What exactly? So thank you. That's what we're saying. Ain't no one blaming the white man, but we are blaming the piss poor white representatives that we have had. Secondly, violent crime correlates with poverty, not black people. The poorer the neighborhood, the higher the crime rate is going to be. And why are black neighborhoods mostly impoverished? Well, maybe it has something to do with redlining, housing covenants, Jim Crow. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that when black Americans built over 50 black Wall Streets, not even including the prosperous towns, it was burnt to the ground by some of those same law-abiding white people that you're saying in which neighborhoods you say you never had any issues. The more impoverished the neighborhood, and usually the more impoverished and urban the neighborhood, the higher the crime rate is going to be. Third of all, from where am I getting my statistics? I am getting my statistics from the FBI. And this is not something that the FBI is going to be forthright with. It's something that people have to go through and do the data themselves. But again, per the FBI data, the average black American, less than 1% of our population is most likely to commit a violent crime. So what we're not going to do, Ms. Monique, is take an outlier and make them the face of the black community. The truth of the matter is, if you want to fight crime, you have to fight poverty. And in the case of black Americans, our poverty is tied exactly to the fact that we were violently forced into poverty when we weren't paid the wealth of our ancestors that we should have inherited. When we built those successful cities and they were burnt to the ground, when we were denied several opportunities. And let's not even bring up mass incarceration. I know you will agree with this, that Joe Biden authored, and let's not even bring up the importation of drugs into our neighborhoods. But I'm going to say this, what you experience on a day-to-day basis, I'm not going to deny your experience, but your experience does not trump the data. Okay, and you saying that the FBI? Hold on.
Screw the data. No, screw the data. Screw the data, because the data ain't out here. The data ain't out here seeing black folks getting their head blown off by other black people. The data ain't showing that.
Not in our neighborhoods. You're saying that the FBI is not in our neighborhoods. Let me talk you to a report. A report shows that police precincts in majority black neighborhoods are most likely to over-report crime statistics so that they can get more resources, whereas police precincts in white neighborhoods oftentimes don't even report all of their data to the FBI. So what is really happening is crime is underreported in white neighborhoods and over-reported in black neighborhoods. And when you combine that with the fact that black Americans are the most likely to be wrongly arrested and wrongly convicted, you cannot truthfully say that black on black crime is the issue. But if you want to say that black on black crime is the issue, okay, Ms. Monique, let's get some black on black policies then to solve that black on black crime that everybody wants to keep saying is the issue. Let's talk about those black on black policies that we need to see come.
Monique, you may rebut that.
Ain't no rebuttal. He wrong. He must don't live in the same kind of neighborhood I live in. Cause I don't give a damn what the fucking FBI say. The FBI ain't here. The FBI don't see these young black men out here getting their heads blown to fucking smithereens by other black people. What statistic you need to show you that black people in black neighborhoods is not where they white people is not their problem? When I mention white policies, white politicians being a problem, I wasn't saying that whatever he just I wasn't saying any of that. What I'm saying is the policies that we vote for as black people when we put these white people over us is an issue. And it don't matter when we
It
put black
definitely is.
people over us, because guess what? We still voting for the same people, just a different color. We want to make sure they look like us. And guess what? When they get in there, they don't do shit for us. We voted for Chocolate Jesus that first and second time, and guess what he did for us? He ain't did not a damn thing for us. Not nothing. Everything he did was for the LGBT element of P and the damn illegal aliens. Now you tell us what we need to be doing in a black neighborhood that
You are
FBI statistics can bring
absolutely
out.
right. Oh, I keep thinking you're done. You are absolutely right. We do vote for sucky, piss poor politicians. And you're right. We do vote for black, useless black faces in high places that don't do a damn thing for us. I'm running against one of them, James
Yeah,
Clyburn,
and when
who's
you
been there.
get elected, you gonna be one of them. You gonna
Oh,
fall
no,
right
you don't
in
know
line
me.
with them.
Nah, you don't know me. You don't know me. Well, guess what? Get me elected and let's find out, okay? Help get me elected, let's find out. But let me tell you, I'm running against one of them, James Clyburn, whose district is the sixth poorest in the United States out of the 435. He's been there for 30 years. So you're absolutely right. My point still remains, though. Black on black crime is a myth. We only want to give crime a color when it's black people.
It's not a
And we are
myth.
not going to
It's
make
not a
that
myth
out.
if
We're
you
not
living in the
going to make
hood.
that.
It is
We are
not a
not
myth.
going to make that out. We're not going to put the outliers as the face of the black community. You want to talk about black on black
That's
crime?
what's wrong with black people now. We don't want to
Let's
own up
talk
to the
about the
truth. The
crime.
truth
Let's
hurts.
talk about
And the
let's
shit
talk about
stink.
the crime of the politicians in office who sit there and let the deplorable conditions of those neighborhoods persist. That's the real crime. And that is not just the Democrats, that's also the Republicans.
It ain't no damn Republican running no black neighborhood. Every
Yes,
every
they
black
are, because
neighborhood
I'm
in
in South
every black
Carolina.
neighborhood
I'm
in the
in South
nation got
Carolina.
a damn
I'm in
black
South
got a
Carolina,
black
and it's a
Democrat
red.
on the
I'm
city
in South
council.
Carolina, and it's a red state. I'm in South Carolina. It's a
You
red
might be
state.
in a red state, but I bet the city you in is about as Democrat as it comes.
The town council is majority white. The damn mayor is white. And the place here is a whole damn mess.
Who your city
If we gonna
councilman?
call
Is
out,
your city
if we
councilman a
gonna call
Democrat?
out, we gonna call out the town
Your
council.
city
It's a town
councilman a
council.
Democrat?
It's a town council, and they're all white. You can look it up yourself. Ridgeland,
Is
South
a
Carolina,
Democrat.
and we
Is
have
a Democrat.
sky high gun violence. We have piss poor schools, and the Republicans have been just as complicit in it as are the Democrats. Now, I will call out the Democrats, but I'm damn sure not going to act like the Republicans have been some saviors too.
Your town
hold on, let me
council
jump in.
in your district is your city councilman a Democrat?
No, they're all white. Mayor,
Your
town council.
Your school board is it Democrats?
I don't know what the hell they are. They ain't doing nothing. There's a
You
mixture
probably
of white
want to
and
figure
black
it
on there.
out. You probably want to
It's a
figure it
mixture of
out.
white and black on there. But hey, the school where I work at, these are mainly white Republicans. And let me reserve my comment.
You asked him how you know.
What?
Next question.
Yeah, next question.
All right, let's go.
Hey, before we go, brother kid, before we go, before we go, everybody, this is a black alpha debate. We're gonna do these all summer long. I told you it ain't prim, it ain't proper, it's polished, and it's real. We get straight to the point. So if you like it, go ahead with it.
Mike Summer.
This is the Hot Mic Summer. We're going to bring it all the way live. Make sure you subscribe to Black Alpha Network on YouTube and Kid Gravity as well, and my brother Afro Elite. Make sure you subscribe to all of us. We're going to keep this going all summer long. And hey, to anybody on here, if you want to cuss, go ahead and let it rip. All right? I don't, I don't make no policy about it. Go. Yeah, hey, straight. I like how you said that. Straight up and down. That's how it is.
All right, let's go. I'm going to do my best Jason Black impression. The speaker mic is now open. I got the cue. I'm gonna start bringing y'all up. One question. Please do not yell at any of the debaters. Ask your question. I'm fixing to put you down the queue. Keep it rolling because we're gonna end this very soon. But I want to be able to let the people hear everything. But before we do this, can I get the room to give us some claps to Marcel and Miss Monique for laying out their positions and informing the people? Can I get some claps? Damn, I only saw 3 claps. God dog. Where these claps? I bet if your pastor came around and said, hey, give me an amen, y'all say amen real quick.
Hey, this uncut and raw, just like we like it, man. Just how we like it.
Yes, sir. All
Hey,
right.
hey,
Let's
we don't promote. Hey, we don't promote the cussing. We encourage it. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. So let's get it popping. I'm gonna bring up the first speaker. The first speaker name is Yikes. As soon as Yikes connects, I'm going to let her ask a question to whoever, and whoever can answer it. And if there's a rebuttal to be made, you can rebut it. But we're gonna keep it very, very succinct. Yikes, please go ahead.
Hello, y'all. Thank you, Black Alpha Network, for letting me know about this today, Kid Gravity, Queen Alpha. I just really appreciate y'all having this space today. I think this was a very important conversation to have with the Monique. I actually had discussed debating her with y'all, but after this, I mean, she doesn't debate facts, so I mean, there was no point in saying that. So I don't really have a question. I just have a statement, really. I mean, listening to this was very, very telling. And I just want to say to Miss Monique, I don't understand how you could say that you don't like when Marcel gets loud about what he has to say. You don't like fervent talk about what many black people rally around, and we have these beliefs, and you think Marcel speak too loud like a damn squirrel, and you a squirrel running away from the road when the cars come by. You can't pronounce the word ears correctly. I think you said airs, like Air Jordans. You just did a whole gish gallop around the actual points, and you act like you have all these profound ideas, but you ask more questions about the topic you came up here to debate than you actually contributed facts that should have us convinced about your side of the argument. Marcel had to help you debunk yourself because you obviously don't retain information very well. You're not taking any notes. You're just coming off the cuff with nonsense talking points that have been fed to you. You wouldn't let Marcel finish half the time because you just had to reiterate your ridiculous point that you don't think that black people deserve reparation like an immature school child, man. Instead of listening to the question and responding accordingly, you tried to lecture Marcel on the government when he's actually running for an office. And by your profile pic, it looked like the only thing you running from is the library. Because when somebody asks you about the facts and for you to educate yourself on a movement, you try to chastise them. And I'm thinking you really might actually be autistic. So you might definitely need to consult with your doctor about that because it's
Whoa, whoa. We don't play with mental health up here.
No, but I just laid out all the points. She don't like loud noises. She can't retain information. I'm just saying.
Yikes! I rock with you, but we not gonna put mental illness
she
on
was so
people in this room. Please
disrespectful.
don't do that.
It was so disrespectful for you to say what's going on in your neighborhood and don't include anybody else. You're talking about you, I, and you're not talking about anybody else. You're talking about you. You, and what you think and what you believe. You didn't include anybody else in that conversation. I think it's rude. And it's obviously you came up here disingenuous and you didn't prepare. You didn't bring any facts, not none that I learned here. I think it was very disrespectful. I think you wasted people's time.
You don't need facts when you got common sense on your side.
Okay.
Facts. Facts is whatever y'all
See
make
what
it,
I'm
ain't
saying?
it?
She doesn't believe in facts. She doesn't even believe in the facts. So yeah, that was just ridiculous. Listening to you gave me nothing, no good impression of you at all. So yeah, and I stand by what I said. I don't feel bad about what I said, and I know a lot of people with mental
Don't
health.
feel bad. Don't feel bad, honey. Don't feel bad. I didn't ask you to.
Yikes! You landing?
Oh, I'm done.
All right, yes, ma'am. I
She's
appreciate the
grounded.
fervor. Thank you so much. All right, folks. It started off at 70 miles an hour. Let's keep this going. I am going to bring up. Your name is wild as hell. Evil Dule Hill. That is a wild name. When you connect, you may unmute your mic and speak. That's a wild name, brother. But go ahead. Dule, you may unmute your mic. Dule, going once, going twice, gone. All right. Ain't gonna play with this. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna bring up Philip. Philip, as soon as you connect, unmute your mic, ask your question to whoever you want to, and let's get some more information. Philip, you may speak.
This is just basically from Monique. Like I said, from the previous speaker, she really didn't give any facts. You know, I was open to hear anything, but I mean, it's just a waste of time, to be honest. But I land my plane there. It's just crazy. All right.
Before you go, what fact was you looking for? Philip.
Philip, you can answer that, brother.
Philip sound like he taking a nap. Hey, move on to the next.
Nah, he wrote
Yeah,
out.
well, I
I'm
don't
finna
know
keep it
what
moving. I'm
facts
finna keep it moving.
they are expecting to get from me other than what I say. What I say is what I mean. So next.
Yes, ma'am. All right, brother Shamar, you may speak. Unmute your mic and ask your question.
Shalom, family. My question is for Marcel. How would sorry, my brain's kind of drawing a blank, but how would you best address like the wealth inequality in our district? I live in the sixth. Red County, been red since Ronald Reagan, still one of the poorest in the state, or in the country.
Say that again. I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Yeah, I had my headphones on, my bad.
I was asking, how would you address the wealth inequality across our district? I live in a red county, gerrymandered to heck, been red since Ronald Reagan, but how would you, what policies would you implement if you went to Washington, D.C. to help us in the district? That's my main one.
My primary policy is reparations. Okay. And just to give some data, Citigroup, which is one of the largest financial service providers in the world, Citibank, which I know we all heard of, like student loans, they deal with a lot of that. They are considered one of the bulge banks, meaning they are so big that if they were to crash, the global economy will be put into a crisis. They did a study last year saying that anti-Black racism has cost the United States of America $16 trillion. Just for some context, the GDP, the total products and services of the United States of America, is $19.2 trillion, meaning this country would be twice as wealthy had they done reparations already in the year 2000. You go back further, that's even more money we lose. So reparations is for Black Americans who are descendants of American slaves, but it helps everyone, including white Americans. But Lyndon B. Johnson, when he was doing an investigation of poverty, he spoke to a lot of poor whites, and he said, and this is a quote, he said the only thing he found out that you give a poor white someone to look down upon, they won't notice they're picking your pocket. He said, hell, give them a nigger to look down upon, and they will empty their pockets for you. So some white people are just so anti-Black that they will refuse reparations, even though it's something that will help them too.
All right, thank you for that, brother Shamar. Before we move on, hey, give him the line one time. Cut the line one time. What we telling him? Cut the what? Check. Very good. All right, get out of here. That's just a little intermission for y'all. Cut the check. Got to start them off young. All right, brother Shamar. Thank you again for your question, brother Nas. You may unmute your mic and ask your question.
Peace to you, brother Nas.
Peace to you too, man. And thank y'all for having this room. And y'all know when I come in the room, I try to act my best to ask a really good question. But I'm almost lost because this is the question I came with. It was really hard for me to come with this. So my question is, and anyone, both of y'all can answer it. Do you think that data and facts have any merit? because I think that when it comes to any debate or even policy or even things you're trying to change, you have to agree. I mean, you have to have some position on if data and facts have any merit. So that's the question for both of y'all. All right,
Well,
whoever wants to start.
it has a lot of merit. It has a lot to do with a lot of things. But as we've seen, especially apparent in this most recent in this current administration, sometimes data and facts can be cooked. Sometimes it's not really data and facts. Look at Fauci. Fauci thought he had all the data and facts, and every time something came out to dispute him, he went quiet on us. I mean, data and facts is important if it's actually data and facts. But you can't tell me that black people ain't bothered by black on black crime because of white supremacy. They more worried about white supremacy. No, we are not worried about white supremacy. We worried about how we gonna feed these kids. We worried about how we gonna get to this job. We worried about how we gonna keep this roof over our heads. White supremacy ain't got nothing to do with that. Yes, data and facts matter, but it got to be the actual data and facts, not what you want to be data and facts.
I mean, yeah, data and facts do matter. Like Monique said, data and facts can be manipulated. And one of the areas where they are manipulated are the crime statistics against Black Americans. That has been shown time and time again, whether it's Black Americans are the most likely to be wrongly convicted and the most likely to be exonerated of a crime for which they spent decades in prisons for, whether that's the over-reporting of crime in Black neighborhoods and the under-reporting of crime in white neighborhoods, whether that's the fact that Black Americans are told that somehow illegal immigration, and also know this is going to be pertinent to you, that illegal immigration benefits Americans because they bring so many quote unquote jobs, but they don't say that they're not hiring Black Americans at those jobs. And they also don't tell us how they're getting grants and loans that Black Americans don't even get access to get those jobs. So that and facts matter, but you also have to check the source.
Okay. I think those are good answers. And I think that if you're going to have a debate, right, I think my problem with this debate was that whenever Marcel would bring up, certain data, that is publicly out there, Monique would discount the data. So I think that if you're going to discount the data, you have to have at least a reason why you're discounting this particular data set. You know what I'm saying? So that so if there's a legitimate reason, then people would believe it. But if you're just discounting the data because it doesn't support the narrative that you have, I think that's a problem. And when it comes to honest discourse and debates and stuff like that. So that's all I would say. Thanks.
I don't have a narrative. I have what's called life experience. Okay, and where I live, we ain't worried about white people. So if FBI statistics or data, whatever he said, says that black people are more worried about white supremacy or white people than we is about black on black crime, it's a lie. Because when you go down the street down here, you're not worried about somebody coming out of nowhere saying, fuck you, nigger, and blowing off your head. You got to worry about a motherfucker coming out of the bushes saying, give me your shit, and blowing off your head.
Okay, so I'm going to respond to that. I ain't never said, first of all, that Black people are more worried about white supremacy. What I did say is that Black on Black crime is an anti-Black myth, which it is. I did say that we all. Excuse me. I'll let you speak. I did say that the only time we want to give crime a color is when it's Black people, but we don't have white on white crime, which definitely happens because white men are around 30% of the population and are over like 69% of violent crimes made, over some crazy number like 70% of pedophilia, you name it. We only want to give crime a color when it comes to Black people. But strangely enough, when Black people, those same Black people are demanding policies for their Black issues, we don't want to do Black on Black policies. That's what I said. I'm standing by that too.
What you saying is that you demanding policies to fix these issues or whatever. Your demand right now is okay. Give us reparations and we'll be okay. Everything will be just bliss for the black community. That's wrong. That's not right. We've been throwing money at the black community since I don't know how long. Every minority majority school in this city is overfunded, too funded. They get more money than private and charity schools. What you call them?
Charter.
Charter schools.
Charter schools. They get more money than all them put together from the government. And look at the schools.
Hold on.
Look at the schools. They
that's
still a mess. These kids graduating dumber than a sack of rocks. And these teachers that's graduating them is just graduating because they disrespectful and don't want them in their class. Money ain't gonna change that.
Okay, one, that latter thing you said does happen because I'm a teacher and I see it all the time. So that part is true. But hold on, they put in money to the black community when? Wait a minute, up until the 1970s, it was legal for the federal government and for real estate agents to discriminate against the black community, to deprive us of benefiting from our own tax dollars. That was a system called redlining. It was done away with on paper from civil rights legislation, but you can't stop the inflicting the damage upon a group of people and then not do anything to repair the damage. And what you just mentioned about the majority minority schools being overfunded, I don't know about that. I don't care about that. What I do know is that the funding doesn't need to go to the majority minority schools. The funding needs to go to the Black Americans over impoverished families who attend those schools. And you're absolutely right. My answer for it is reparations. And reparations definitely includes direct monetary payments because it has already been shown we as Black Americans were able to build successful, thriving cities that had they been allowed to thrive, New York City was like a one-stop light town, but they were burnt to the ground. We've been shown that we could do a hell of a lot with little. The PPP loans, Black Americans only received 1% of them. But with the little bit of loans that we received, we started more businesses than any other group. So if we can do that with the crumbs that we get now, even though we fought to make the table possible for which people eat, we can definitely do a hell of a lot more with reparations. We're smart enough to solve our own problems, even though we didn't cause our own problems.
Let me tell you what I seen with them PPP loans. I know quite a few people who got some PPP loans. Now they didn't deserve them. They ain't had no jobs. They ain't had no businesses to be able to even get a PPP loan. But it was so many down here running them scams on those PPP loans. These people got these what I would see as I think most of them was around $20,000, $20,000 PPP loans. These people, instead of doing the smart thing, when my cousin told me she got one, I told her, well, what you need to do is actually invest in the business and get that business up and running. Because in a couple of years, when them folks come looking for their money, you're going to need some bail money. And that business that you didn't have before that you got now from getting that loan, you're going to need it. You're going to need every dime from it to pay your lawyer fees. But my thing is, when they got these loans, they was out doing everything under the sun except for the right thing with them, and the money wasn't even right. It wasn't even meant for them because they had no businesses to keep going during the pandemic.
Oh, I mean, that has nothing to do with that. Hold on, I want to wait a minute. I want to say,
you want to run off on red
mean,
herrings. I really want
I've said, excuse me. I've seen people, I mean, what you said, yeah, I've known people too who have done that, but I don't got nothing to do with what I just said. The fact of the matter is that Black Americans has started more businesses in a group, even though we got the least amount of those PPP loans. But what you're saying, yeah, I know people running scams too. I mean, I've seen several people doing it, but okay, yeah, but I'm not sure it has to do with what I said.
Yes, sir. All right, let's keep it moving. Leader of the pack, go ahead.
Yeah, come check me up, leader of the pack.
Okay,
come check me up.
That's exactly what I'm here for, Mr. Sir. Matter of fact, to be honest, listening to you and with all respect, the lady Skits or Schemes, I don't know, I can't think of her name. Y'all are wild. Okay, first of all, y'all acting like I don't understand what Monique is saying. And Mr. Marcel, I listened to you say that, oh well, this black on black crime is just it's anti-black myth. It's a joke. And the point that Monique is making is very clear. when you actually go into the hood, when you actually step foot and you touch grass in these hoods, they are not thinking. They ain't thinking about nothing right. They ain't talking about no cops. All they worried about is the person around the corner that they really are that they really threatened by. That man, another man came up here and asked you specifically, what was you going to do about the poverty environment or district that he lived in? Your answer was reparations. This becomes a joke. So when we get to the point where we say, what's the problem or what's moving forward or how did we get here? We get here because we have, unfortunately, black people who not only vote Democrat, but run in the Democrat Party. Black people who actually quote LBJ. I think a second ago, you quoted Lyndon Baines Johnson. This is the same Lyndon Baines Johnson that said specifically, out of his mouth, word for word, I'll have these niggers voting Democrat for the next 200 years. It was very clear. He understood that because his party, led by white people at the time, just gave or enshrined black people, the black community, the very same rights, the same exact rights. All he did was rewrite the bills, but the very same rights that black Republicans fought and died for 100 years prior to in the civil rights, in the Civil War, America's bloodiest war. So black Republicans fought and died for the very same rights that white Democrats kept away from these people, from our community for 100 years.
Hold it.
These are the facts.
You have a question? Hang on. Whoa. First time, you ain't gonna overtalk the host. Do you have a question, or you just gonna stand on your soapbox? Let me know now.
I'm on a soapbox.
Now wait a minute. You didn't say that when that girl was up here. You didn't say that when that girl was up here standing on her soapbox.
Hey. I guess dude up out of here. Did he leave? I don't know. I was gonna tell him where he can wrap it up, but I guess he's taking off. Marcel,
I'm not sure what he was saying.
You know exactly what he was saying.
Yeah, okay. Well, he was saying some of the same BS you were saying.
It ain't BS. We want to talk about facts.
First of all, it is BS. It is BS. First of all, I quoted Lyndon B. Johnson. I already know Lyndon B. Johnson was an anti-black bigot from Texas. That don't mean his quote was wrong. He also, so because he was an anti-black bigot from Texas, he knew what anti-black white bigots look like. And he said himself, talking about his people, racist white people, poor whites, he said that all it took was for them to have someone to look down upon, and they won't notice you're picking their pocket. So he said, hell, give them a Negro look down upon, and they'll empty their pockets for you. I quoted him. I'm not sure why I need a history lesson of Lyndon B. Johnson, who I know very well. Second of all, I'm going to stand by what I said. Black on black crime is an anti-black myth. Unless we're going to give
ask these black people getting buried by these black cemetery companies every weekend.
Unless we're going to do white on white crime, yellow on yellow crime, red on red crime, brown on brown crime, the colors of the rainbow, Skittles. I'm doing Skittles here. Unless we're going to give crime of all colors committed by all people of color, I don't hear about no damn black on black crime. But if you're going to mention black on black crime, then give me some black on black policies. Because the last time I checked, the only people who were forced to live in the poverty were black people. And hold on, Monique. So what you're telling me is that black people don't mind crime. They're only afraid of crime when it's from a black person. I thought if I'm going to get robbed or shot, I'm going to be afraid of anyone who's going to rob or shoot me, not just a black person. So it's not black crime in which black people are afraid of. It's the fact that crime is a problem, no matter who it's from. So if we're going to talk about black on black crimes, I'll take that one. But let's talk about some black on black policies, starting reparations. Third of all, I wish I would have kept that guy up here. I don't know if he left. I don't know what happened. Second of all, the guy that asked me about what I'm going to do for my district, he lives in my district. My district is a majority black district, 50 to 60% black. When you can't get resources, the most important resource in a district are the people. You, Monique, and this other guy that was in here, y'all can't talk about the Democrats not doing anything for black Americans, which is true. I've agreed with you on that. You even said you had nothing to add when I said that. But then when I'm running as a Democrat, running to do something for black people, then you want to criticize that. So what do you want? You either want someone to run the Democrat and ignore black Americans, or you want someone to do what the Democrats have always done, just ignore black people and get their votes. I am running as a Democrat. I'm running the way a Democrat should, by putting black Americans first and putting illegal immigrants the hell out.
You don't do that with reparations. You do that by doing by legislating policies that will work for
That's
us.
reparation.
Just throwing money at the problem don't fix it. You need to get to the root of the problem and root it out.
Monique, reparations is the root of the problem.
No,
Reparations
it's not.
is the
Money is
reason.
not the
Reparations, no, Monique, reparations is the payment of a debt. You said it. The first Republican president is considered to be Abraham Lincoln, right? When Abraham Lincoln came into office, he put an end to slavery. Really, Black Americans pushed him to that end because we have been fighting for the end of slavery long before Lincoln came along. But I'm gonna give you your credit. The first Republican president ended slavery. He also was going to do reparations. Why? Because Abraham Lincoln in the 1860s realized that you can't just, quote unquote, free someone from 260 years of absolute hell and turn them out to, like what Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, freedom to famine, freedom to hunger, freedom to death and misery. So how can you all sit there and say y'all are the party of Abraham Lincoln while at the same time arguing against the things that Abraham Lincoln wanted? And the last thing he did before he died was sign Special Field Order 15, which is right here in Savannah, Georgia, 25 minutes from me on my house across the bridge going to Georgia. Right there, a Special Field Order 15 for 40 acres in a mule. Abraham Lincoln knew the answer was money. And right now, the answer is money too, the payment of the debt.
All right, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Free R. Kelly. That is a wild name. Y'all got some wild names on this Twitter, but go ahead, free R. Kelly expeditiously.
Hey, peace. Thank y'all for having me. I want to give a shout out to my brother, Marcel Dixon. Definitely appreciate the way you hold it down, bro. I want to make a comment, and then I'm gonna go quick question. So I know I want to keep the room flowing. One comment I want to make is this: everybody keeps talking about throwing money at the problem is not a solution. We are in America. If it's not about money, what the hell is it about? When it comes to other communities, I've never seen, and I don't think anybody could pay a Monique or anybody who has the same views. You couldn't pay you to say that to Jewish people. You couldn't pay you to say that to Asian people. You couldn't pay you to say that to the LGBT community because no quicker than that comment got out of your mouth, you wouldn't be able to get a job mopping floors at Popeyes. Now, the only question I got is this: if it's not about money, what is it about? Because my ancestors, our ancestors, foundational Black Americans, when they were building the wealth of this country, white people got money off of them. They didn't get morals. They didn't get respect. They didn't get pretty sayings and quotes. They got money. That money transfer into power. So we want money. So my question to Monique is, if it's not about the money, then what is it about? Hello?
Monique, you may answer. Monique.
Hello.
Yeah, you may answer the brother's question.
I was out of the room. What was the question?
The brother said if it ain't about money,
the money, then what is it about?
What is it about?
Considering that you're against reparations, since you say that it's not about the reparations, what should it be about?
It's about more than reparations. It's about what you gonna do with when you put out these reparations as you want to do. What's the baseline of it? How much are you giving to each family, or is it each family, or is it certain individuals? When you do this, what are they doing with this? How much is it, and what are they doing with it? What my point was when I brought up the issue of we throwing money at everything and money ain't solving nothing is like the schools in our communities. The schools in our communities are very well funded, I would say, but it's the administrations that's not handling that money well. Now, when you give, let's say your reparations.
May I interrupt you one quick second, y'all? Our free R. Kelly got dropped. That's all I wanted to say. Sorry, Monique.
when let's say you get 50,000, what Marcel, what is your baseline of this reparation? What how much is it? Help me understand what is going on here with the reparation. Are y'all trying
So
to give it to families, individuals, and how much? What's the intricacies of it?
so it's 40 million for land that has been stolen, 40 trillion, excuse me, 30 trillion for missed opportunities and damages and wages from exclusion, and 2.8 million per person that will not be paid in a lump sum though, because that will obviously cause massive inflation. So what we're going to do is get bonds, and the US government is going to pay us interest on those bonds, and it will go to every individual who is a descendant of American slavery, not black immigrants, but those who are just descendants of those people that were freed at the end of the Civil War. And it's on my
So
website, y'all, marcelcarver.com/.
so will
Please
that
donate if you
include?
can.
So will that include white people or white descendants of slaves, or would the money go to already millionaire, billionaire black people? I mean, help me understand that part too.
So it's a payment of a debt. So Will Smith, Oprah Winfrey are entitled to getting that payment of debt, just as well as poor little old Marcel living here in rural South Carolina. The person's wealth is irrelevant. If they are descendant of those people that were owed the debt that Abraham Lincoln supported, they will get that debt paid.
Okay, so I'm not with it.
All right. Okay. She's still not with it. Let's keep it moving. Sage the Flame, I have brought you up. You may unmute your mic and ask your question. Sage, you may unmute your mic. Going once, going twice. Okay. Let us move on. I am bringing up the next
Go put
speaker.
that back. Go put it back now.
I'm going to push you down. Okay, the wizard, you may go ahead, unmute your mic and speak.
What's going on, y'all? I had, I guess, one main question. Um, I necessarily do not apply to the reparations, being that I'm first generation born in America. My parents are foreigners; they're from Nigeria. So my question to y'all is, in this battle where you want what is well deserved to you, how are you also going about banding other colored people, for example, immigrants that are African or of African descent, however you want to put it? How are we going to help them recognize how beneficial it is for Black people as a group? Because I've been in a couple of spaces where that has kind of been a thing where it's like, oh, Africans are against us because they don't stand with us on reparations and they don't fight for those things for with us. So if that is the case, then I would like to know why it's not a bigger piece of the pot to try and include these people on why it's important for that to happen, and how is that going to be done on your end?
Is this question for me, the wizard?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so this one thing I want to say. I know some people are like, like dragging Monique, but I am not. I'm gonna be honest.
Ain't nobody
I,
drag my
no,
big ass.
no, I want to be honest. I've heard worse things from white liberals than I've heard from Monique. I am dead serious. Y'all know I talk all the time about these white Democrats who are supposed to be our allies. I've heard way worse from them than I've heard from Monique. Way worse. Okay, I want to be very honest, because at the end of the day, at least they want to flood our neighborhoods with illegal immigrants and give them all the resources. Now, the wizard, I want to answer your questions. First of all, speaking of Monique, there is something she said that's true. One is how the Democrats will put every other group first before the Black Americans. When I say Americans, instead of American slaves, that vote for them. I'm not doing that this time. Reparations is specifically for Black Americans who are descendants of American slaves. And just like I said to Monique and said to another person here, it is going to benefit this entire country. We have data to show that this country is poor, less united, and a lot more insecure because of anti-Black racism that has not been addressed via reparations. So to those Black immigrants, I will say to them that one, the reason that y'all are able to even come to this country and live the quote unquote American dream is because Black Americans overcame and are still surviving the American nightmare. So I will say that any Black immigrant here should want to join us in the fight for reparations, because if it wasn't for Black Americans, the Immigration Act of 1965 would have never been passed, and we would have still been under that immigration law of 1924, where Black people or anyone that wasn't from Western Europe was not even allowed to come to the country. So Black immigrants are going to benefit the same way that white Americans are going to benefit, the same way that Asian Americans will benefit. And I don't know who these brown people are that I keep hearing Black and brown. I don't know who these brown people are, but these mystical, mysterious brown people will benefit as well.
There,
Hey, before we go any further, before you go, Monique, I'm gonna tell everybody in the room right now. Make sure you subscribe to Black Alpha Network, Kid Gravity, my brother Afro Elite. Make sure you subscribe to all of us, and make sure you donate to Brother Marcel's campaign. I'm gonna have the co-host put it in the jumbotron, but make sure you donate. Do that, make it happen for sure. Go ahead, Monique.
these Latin, these brown people they talking about is people from Central America. You know, the Mexicans, the Hondurans, and stuff like that. Them kind of people. I didn't get the question. I'm stretching it, y'all. Excuse me. I didn't get the question, little baby asked. But what I did want to say something, and just like that, I forgot. I guess I should take that girl up on her alpha and take some notes. But I didn't come here for all that. I just came here to have some fun. So, it was something I was gonna say, and I probably should have wrote it down. You said something, Marcel, and I vehemently disagree with it. I should have cut in just then and said it.
Hang on before everybody go. I'm sorry. Monique, did you just say you came in here to have some fun?
Yes,
Did I
yes,
hear
I
that
did.
right? So you think we brought you here, convene this space, got Marcel, who's busy right now, to
Is he busy?
even
I
get to
hadn't
talk to you?
noticed.
Hang on. To get to talk to you, and you think we joking around here? You think this is a fun space?
It's fun to me.
It's
I want
fun.
to say
So what we're doing here, you think this is a joke?
Did I say it was a joke?
You said this is fun.
Yes, it's fun. It's fun.
So you like those MAGA assholes who wants to run around here and spout we all one race, but when it's a serious discussion, you want to gaslight. That's what I'm getting
Have,
from.
have I not been serious with y'all? I mean,
No, you have, because you just said
what's
this was fun. So I have to look back on everything you've said for the past hour and a half and think that you were just fucking around.
I guess you do what you do then.
So you were fucking around.
that that guy's question was, how will reparations, Black immigrants be included, or something like that. I don't know.
Hey,
Well,
moving
I
on,
think
moving on.
Black Alpha, you take it over for about 5 minutes, man.
Yeah, go ahead and go get you something cold to drink, brother. Yeah, that guy's question was more directed towards Marcel. But hey, we're gonna bring in Brother Will right now. Brother Will, you got your hand up. Go ahead and speak.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. I'll be quick, man. I think this was a good debate. What I noticed throughout the debate, Marcel, you agreed with Monique on a lot of terms. So my question would be for you: Are you, after this debate, are you going to reach out to Monique to work with her? Y'all put your heads together. Second, I think a lot of people came up and they said that Monique didn't bring any facts. It wasn't that she didn't bring facts. When he gave the statistics about the FBI, she turned it down by giving her reality of what she sees in her community. So I think that's a good note to take away from that. Black Alpha, y'all are doing your thing. This was a great debate. When Monique said that she was having fun, I think it was more so towards saying the debate was fun to her. I don't think she was saying it was a joke, but if she did say that, she can clear it up for y'all. But I thought this was a very interesting debate. Marcel had a strong point. Monique had a strong point, and y'all battled it out. Hopefully, y'all work together afterwards.
My main thing where I strongly disagree with Monique is that she is against reparations, even though I don't even know if she really is, because she just said reparations wouldn't solve it. So my thing is, Monique, I don't know why you will be. I can see if you were saying, okay, let's do reparations and then let's do more, because you just said to some person that came in here about, well, reparations, you think throwing money is going to fix it? Yeah, okay, throw money, and if money don't fix it, then let's do some more things. But I don't know why you would be against reparation if that's your agenda. But as far as the things that she said about the Democratic Party, she's spot on. And if anybody follows me, they know, like Kid Gravity and Queen Black Alpha said, this ain't no liberals here. We ain't no die hard, vote blue, no matter who people here. The Democrats actually hate me. They try to get me to out their party. They try to say that I'm an undercover Republican, because apparently you can't be a Democrat and have your own mind. Apparently you can't be a Democrat without feeling like you must abort more than 20 million black babies, which we've already done. Apparently you feel that the only thing black women need is access to abortion clinics in their neighborhoods. Not good schools, not good jobs, not good roads, not even clean water, just abortion clinics. So yes, I agree with Monique in the sense that the Democrats have I said this, they have actually been the most anti-black of the two parties, because the Republicans aren't getting our votes and spitting in our faces. The Democrats get our votes and spit in our faces. So in that angle, yes. And being that I know some about the MAGA people, I know that they're vehemently against illegal immigration, as am I. I'm even for lowering legal immigration. I am vehemently against abortion for Black Americans, at least, because most Black American women say they abort their babies because of poverty. So instead of the Democrats doing something about the poverty, they instead say, hey, abort your baby. These same white liberals out here in the street patting their vaginas, wearing pink pussy hats, and saying my body, my choice, they go home to their husbands and they give Black Americans they say my body, my choice, but all the abortion clinics are in Black neighborhoods. So the only thing they want for us is to abort our children. And guns, Black Americans, if yesterday has shown us anything, we need our guns more than ever before. So yes, there are definitely things where I can work with people who are of a Republican ideology, definitely, because I don't ascribe to this immigration, abortion, and gun confiscation crap these Democrats trying to push on us.
So it sounds like you might be a Republican, except for maybe an issue or two here or there. Why won't you
Yeah, that's
run
a
as a
vote.
Republican?
Well, one, the Democrats in modern day, in my life, yes, Black Americans have actually been Republicans longer than Democrats, sort of, yeah. But the Democrats are the ones that get our votes, and they're the ones that owe us. And I'll be damned if they
I'm
get to do to
glad
us.
you recognize that.
Right. And I'll be damned if the Democrats do to us what the Republicans did in 1877 when they did that compromise and pulled the truth out the South. They abandoned us. The Democrats have abandoned us. I wasn't around doing anything about the Republicans abandoning us. I'm here to do something about the Democrats abandoning us. And they want me to leave and run as a Republican so they can be free of me. I'm not giving them what they want. They're not going to betray my people and have an easy time doing it by just putting me out the house. They can't put me out the house, and I'm going to come in the house kicking ass.
Fresh
Ladies and
apple
gentlemen,
juice
that's
is
Trust
good.
me, Monique,
fresh apple juice is the
the
truth.
Democrats do not like me at all. Trust me.
Fresh apple juice is the truth. I'm sorry for my blow up, folks. That was uncharacteristic of me. I'm sorry.
That wasn't a
I just
blow
when we
up.
have
You
these
just was
spaces,
speaking your mind.
I ain't with the play. When we have these kind of spaces, Black Alpha's busy. I'm busy. We try to educate the people out here. I ain't with the play. So I apologize for that. That was on me. I'll hold that. But let's keep it moving. Brother Will Leffridge, you are in the building. You did the first debate with Brother Rich.
Whoa,
So,
whoa, whoa, whoa! Hey, why you was getting that apple juice? Brother Brother Will already talked, brother. So
sorry. I got a
it's
question.
all good.
All right, hang on.
I got a statement.
All right, who's that?
Yo, Herb.
All right, go ahead.
I just want to say this one thing. I'm not FBA, but I've been watching and listening to you guys for a while. I've been listening to some of the grassroots, and then I'm gonna quote the Black Authority, man. You gotta watch out for these old niggas because this lady Monique and Jim Clyburn, they sound just alike, no difference. And whether she in Dallas
I'm not
and the other
old
guy in
though.
South Carolina, the guy in South Carolina, but hey, you sound like you around the same age as Jim Clyburn. Yeah, y'all sound just alike. Like y'all not really trying to
That's
help
wisdom.
help FBA at all. Y'all just sound like y'all rather go ahead and pick the
I mean,
cotton
y'all
back.
so serious. Y'all got it
That's
right. I
that's
mean, do you need help?
no, I'm here to support the cause. I'm B1. I'm here to support the cause because I feel as if
I don't even know what
reparation,
a
if
B1
I
is.
know that's how you know you're not really in the streets like that. But I just wanted to say that
What
you
is the
know
streets?
I just want to say that um, reparation starts if it starts in the United States, it's going to start everywhere else. So I think that it's the domino effect. We start here in the United States, then next thing you know, Jamaica's going to start asking for reparation. Haiti's going to start asking for reparation. Everybody else will start asking for it. But we don't get together and start saying, "Hey, the bigger evil is the United States." Then these small countries or these other immigrants coming in, they're not gonna feel the same way. And then when we around here going at it with each other, oh, somebody put me on mute. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah,
You
yeah,
good?
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
We
All
can
right,
hear
all
sir.
right.
you.
Good.
Oh,
You got the
I thought I was on
floor.
mute, but I just wanted to say that because like I remember I was watching 1804 that Tariq done put out, and it was a guy named Bookman. The guy Bookman was from Jamaica. He wasn't even from Haiti. The guy came from Jamaica. They moved him from Jamaica to Haiti, and even when he was in Haiti, he still went with the cause. Like he was like Haiti wanted to get their independence. He wasn't one of those immigrants was like, oh, we don't need to do this. We don't. He wasn't trying to start his own lane. He went with the tide. If everybody else is doing it, he was doing it even more. So I feel as if that's the problem with immigrants now. They flooded immigrants in here so that way they can cause confusion. One black American saying, "Oh, we need reparation." Then you got immigrants from Cuba, immigrants from Colombia. They look black, or they act black, but they not really black, and they saying, "Oh, we don't need reparations," and that's the problem right there. We not on code, and that's all I gotta say. Appreciate it.
Brother Yo, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
You say you into the new Black Media and Jason Black, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you follow Black Alpha Network, Afro Elite Kid Gravity, or Torin?
Following. I'm about to follow you guys now. I've really been following Marcel for a while, man. I'm big ups to Marcel, man, because we need more people like him. And I just seen him on his space, so I was just like, oh, let me see what's going on here. So I'm following you guys right now as we speak.
Make sure you follow us on Twitter and make sure you follow us on YouTube as well. And
All
make
right,
sure you donate to Brother Marcel's campaign, brother.
I'll do it again. I'll do it again.
Yes,
Yeah, have
sir.
a good one.
Be one, brother.
You too.
All right, let's keep it moving. Sister Sean, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm kind of jumping in here, and I'm gonna just make my statements actually very specifically to me to Mr. Mrs. Monique Worthy. So here's my statement. And I think you were, and correct me if I'm wrong. You were like, oh, well, who are we going to give reparations to? White folks and all this kind of stuff. Let me just tell you this, and this is the vibe I got off of you. Correct me if I'm wrong, but here's what we're not going to do with this reparations claim. We're not going to allow what I call the illusion of confusion. Okay. So stop playing that game if that's what you're trying to do, Miss Monique. Okay. Here's why we're not going to do this. And I'm going to give you 3 points why. First of all, we have a whole entire Black History Month that everybody who's probably on this space has dealt with throughout their middle school, elementary, high school, and post secondary school. So how are we going to have a whole Black History Month and act like you don't know or we don't know who the hell the freedman is? So miss me with that argument. There is no confusion. So stop it. All right. The second thing, if you have your last name, if you have your original last name, you have not been oppressed. So if your last name is Umbuko or whatever the hell your last name is, you have not been oppressed. Freedmen carry the last name of their slave masters. That alone is justification enough that we have been oppressed and we deserve our reparations. It's all in our goddamn name. We don't even have our name.
What you so
you're gonna
mad
miss me
about?
with that. Excuse me. I have a third one for Miss Monique.
All right.
And anybody else. Let me tell you something. And I don't give a damn if you from Africa, East Jablip, a purple pig on the goddamn moon. If you have not been in this country, and if you ain't picked no goddamn cotton, then you ain't deserve no fucking reparations. You show me in your lineage who in your family picked some goddamn cotton on my land. So you gonna stop with these games here, because we not playing these games. And your behavior and anybody else's behavior, you are protectors of thieves. You are collaborating with thieves, and you are collaborating with crimes against humanity. And I'm not gonna let you move not 1 inch. I'm gonna be all over your goddamn skirt. You hear me? And I will be open for any rebuttal, Miss Monique. And I land right there.
Well, I think you made your point, honey. Next
All right.
question.
All right. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. All right. Sage, you may go. You may go. Unmute your mic and ask your question.
Sorry about earlier. I was trying to deal with my girls, but
Yes, ma'am.
the bottom line about reparations is, it's owed to us. That's the whole deal. It's owed to us. Our ancestors didn't. Our ancestors didn't. They just worked for free, and they didn't get anything in return after being freed. So I don't understand what the big deal is about. Oh, hold on one second. I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't understand what the big. I don't understand why people have the most talk about. Oh, I don't believe that Black people should get reparations. Why the fuck not? I mean, are you from a different country or something, or is your family from the Caribbean, or if you don't understand, then you must be from somewhere else. That's just how I see it.
I guess the question is, Monique, do you have a dog in this fight as someone that's FBA or ADOS or descendant of American slaves?
I ain't checked my lineage, but the lady said that if my last name ain't Umbuku or something like that, that I probably should get reparations. But I'm not and never will be a proponent of reparations again.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Sister Sage, thank you so much. I'm gonna put you down and finish listening because we're about to start wrapping this up soon. Got a couple more speakers, and then we're gonna make sure everybody go over to Kid Gravity and Black Alpha Network
I
on YouTube.
do have
We're gonna have a thing about this. We're gonna have a
I do
recap
have
real
something
fast,
else
and
to
then
say.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I got something else to say.
All right, go
Why
ahead.
is it that when uh black actual African Americans, like people that was born in Africa and live in America, why do they have much more? I know this lady from Liberia, and she lives here in the same area I live in. She's from Liberia, and her familial history is very interesting, to say the least. Her family were slaves in America, and when the slavery ended or whatever, and I don't know if a lot of y'all noticed, but they were offering, I guess, free rides back to Africa in Liberia. And Liberia was a country founded by people in that area at the time, and freed slaves.
Well,
And
as long
she
as you
told
trace
me
them,
when she, huh?
well, the best way that FBAs and ADOS and Freedmen are to get these reparations, you trace your name and your family's name by the census way back in, I think, 1870. I think that's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
first
I
time.
understand what you're saying. I wasn't getting at that. My thing is she told me that her family were descended from American slaves, and that they were some of the ones who took the free ride back to Africa. And she moved back over here, where actually a lot of her family came back over here from Liberia. Most of her family were in Liberia, and they immigrated back over here. And she was like, I don't know why American blacks are want reparations and all this. We talked about that, me and her, and we was trying to figure out like why is it that blacks from other areas in the world who come over here seem to do better over here than American blacks that live here.
Because the government props them up as the approved Negroes.
No, that's not right.
That is right, man,
That
because
is not
they
right.
view the Caribbeans and the Africans as black people they can control. Because they come over here most times with
And they work
nothing in their
hard.
pocket,
And they
and
work
they build
hard.
something up, and they know it's easy for them because they come from cultures that
Okay,
closely
so what
align with
about the
theirs.
black people that been living here who lives good? Like
They
let's say
no,
Oprah
they
and all
I
look
that.
at
need to
You will
respond to
never
that,
they
hear
please.
look
Oprah.
at
I
FBA's,
wonder
man,
how Oprah
ma'am,
feels about
Now,
reparations. I
Kid
ma'am.
wonder how
Gravity, I
Obama
need to
feels
Reparations
respond
about
are
to
after the
this.
fact,
reparations.
Please let me respond to this, okay? Please.
brother Marcel. You
Okay.
got it.
A lot of times we get beat over the head with this immigrant narrative of the hard working immigrant comes over here, with $5 in their pocket. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Do they hand out $5 at the airport? It seems like every immigrant somehow comes over to America with just $5 in their pocket. Next thing you know, they are the CEO of a big company. Well, first of all, that's a lie. Two, second of all, a lot of times immigrants to this nation are usually of the more prosperous class in their own nations. So even if they're from a poor nation, they're usually wealthier than the average person in their nation. And we usually compare the creme de la creme of their population, which is a very small percentage, to the entire Black American population. It would actually be fair to consider a successful Black immigrant from Liberia to a successful Black American. But third, let me bring this point up right here. And I'm always going to go back to history because if you don't know from where you came, you don't know where you're going, and you won't know how you got to where you are. No immigrant group, none, has been able to do what we as Black Americans, descendant of American slaves, have done. No immigrant group toiled in those plantations for 260 years, and then after they fought for their freedom, wasn't given a dime for their labor, and was immediately subjected to the most brutal type of anti-Black terrorism. That being said, from the late 1800s to up until the 1960s, there were Black Wall Streets all throughout this nation that we started building while we were illiterate, while we were penniless, and damn near homeless. No immigrant groups would be able to come here and do that. During the Great Recession, that under Bush, and that Obama, as I call him, came and supposedly solved. And like you said, he didn't do a damn thing for
Chocolate
Black
Jesus.
Americans. Right, exactly. He didn't do a damn thing for us. But during his time, white Americans had lost a lot of wealth. They got it back and quadrupled it now. But there were white Americans committing suicide because they had one economic downturn and they couldn't deal with it. Imagine if they couldn't deal with one, could they deal with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 60? Black Americans have gone through economic downturn after economic downturn, violently so. And while going through that, had to face Jim Crow, redlining, and exclusion from policies from which we should have received the benefits, like the Homestead Act, that 48 million white families can trace their wealth to, or the GI Bill that gave 14 million white veterans trillions of dollars to become homeowners, business owners, professionals. Black Americans were excluded from all of that. Meanwhile, we were going through the Jim Crow and the redlining that I mentioned. Then we followed up with mass incarceration and the importation of drugs in our neighborhood. When an immigrant is able to come here, go through all of that, and then be successful, then they can compare themselves to us. Until then, I don't want to hear a damn thing about any of them coming to our nation that we built and have protected about why we can't do this and can't do that.
I just want it to be known that black people ain't the only folks who build America.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that. Crest Welsing Fan Club, you've been waiting 45 minutes. I apologize for that. You may unmute your mic and speak.
I wanted to make a statement earlier with regards to when Monique asked, what are we going to do with reparations money? It's none of her business and nobody else's business. We can handle the money and take care of ourselves. No one asked Israel that gets $3.8 billion every year what they're doing with that welfare check. Nobody asked any of the Asian, any other group that's getting money what they're going to do with it. But we have to ask Black Americans what they're going to do with theirs. It's none of their damn business. They're going to do what they have always been doing, doing Black excellence. The thing is that when you think about, Marcel talked about the Homestead Act of 1862, when the white folks took all the land from the native Indians and gave it to white people. But then, the GI Bill, if you read the book, The Color of Law by Richard Rothstein, he will tell you that the GI Bill, when these black soldiers came back after winning the war would not have been won without those black soldiers. And when they came back, all they were met with was shotguns and rope. They were not given the GI Bill for housing and education. And Richard Rothstein said the GI Bill for housing put Black American people back 3 generations, and the education put them back 2 generations. You talk about redlining. Let's talk about the fact that the Brookings Institute released a fact that 23% of Black American homeowners in America were underappraised based on their skin color, which translates to $156 billion in lost equity, which transferred into $4 million that Black American families could have used when their young scholars were going on to college, but they were forced to go and get loans. And also, you talk about entrepreneurship. The $8 million was robbed of Black entrepreneurs because they could not get their money off their equity. So let's not talk about what Black people are going to do. It's none of anybody's goddamn business what Black people are going to do. At the end of the day, Marcel is the first of many Black American reparationists that's going to be flooding that White House, because Black people are no longer go along to get along. There was nothing more telling than that John Clyburn, when the brother asked him about reparations, and he said, "Why the fuck y'all messing with me?" That was his answer. The fish fries, what a disgrace. This man thinks so low of his own people that he thinks that giving them 3-day greased fish fry on a Wonder Bread is going to bring turn votes. Those days are over. And all due respect with John Lewis, those days are over. And this whole thing about Roe versus Wade is not a Black woman's problem. 56% of white women voted for Trump, okay? And this is their problem. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, with all due respect, in her hubris, her arrogance, and her privilege, when Obama asked her twice to step down, she refused. At 990, by the Trump administration, she didn't. And when she dropped dead and she gave the GOP a gift and tipped it, this is white people's problem. We need to keep our head down and mind our Black business, as the saying says. And I land. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Monique, would you like to respond to that?
Hell, I don't know what to respond to. Why do we need to keep our heads down?
Down and doing the work,
Nice.
one step at a time, not keeping our head down in disgrace, keeping our head down to do the work. I mean, we're getting these tethers and these coons to get up in these spaces talking about things that don't relate to us. That's what I mean.
Okay, well, I have nothing to add to that.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Let's see. Sister, say what you say really fast, and then I'm gonna have that ADOS energy come up
No,
next.
wait. I see you brought somebody else back up that has already spoken. You don't do that. Why does she get to come back?
Well, actually, because you never answered my question, and I actually
Well,
have a quick question. You never
I'm
did
pretty sure I
dancing
didn't
around.
answer a lot of people questions, but he don't bring
No, but
folks back
you
up. So
dancing
why did
around
he
your
bring you
question
back
though.
up?
Well, I
Hey,
didn't bring her
Sister
back
Sean,
up.
just
I
make
actually
it
have
quick.
more
Hey,
questions for you.
Sister Sean, just make it quick and
Okay,
go ahead and say
so the
your
quick
piece.
is first of all, you never answered my first question.
And I'm
You're tap
still not
dancing.
gonna answer it.
Okay, so your answer to your question, how you said specifically, how come Black Americans don't do as well as immigrants? Let me just answer this quickly. First of all, immigrants come over here; they're very docile. Okay, and white supremacy and this system that we are very familiar with because we dealt with it for over 400 years is using immigrants as a weapon against us. And you guys are gladly and willingly and complicitly becoming a buffer class. And they fake like they don't know what they're doing, but they know exactly what they're doing. And here's why. If you think about why foundational Black Americans and freedmen have not exceeded, because first of all, when they come over here, immigrants, okay, they come over here fully intact with their family. Okay, where our families were separated and put on auction blocks and sold. They come here fully functional
Can
with
I
their
ask
language.
something? Can I ask you
Fully
something
functional
real
with their
quick?
language. They come over
You
here
No,
can
no,
fully
Sister
functional
Sean,
with their
Sister
culture
Sean,
and fully
Sister Sean,
functional with their name.
Sister Sean, Sister Sean, you got to land, and Monique is gonna speak.
Oh, I'm waiting for her to speak because you haven't even
oh,
answered my question. You
well,
tap
well
dancing.
let,
What's your answer, sister? Answer me.
just, what
Answer me. Go ahead,
can
baby.
we
Go ahead.
I'm getting there.
Sister Sean,
Uh
all due respect, I had to mute you. I need her to talk.
can we and don't take off yet. I have a question for her. Can we get personal with this issue? Sister Sean, are you successful?
What the fuck kind of question is that?
I'm just it's
What do
just
you
a
want to know?
question.
Do you want to see my tax returns? Do you want my
No,
resume?
no,
What are you
no, I'm
asking
not a
me if I
Democrat.
am
I don't care
successful?
if you. I'm not a Democrat. I don't care if you release them
Okay, so
tax
I get to
returns
the
or not.
answer my
My
question.
question is: are you successful? And if you are not, what is keeping you from? What I'm trying to get at is this white supremacy issue being something that's keeping Black folks down. I want to know why is it, I want to make it personal. Why are you? What is holding you back from being successful?
It doesn't
What's
have because
holding?
let me tell you, okay, this is not an individual thing. I am not an individualist. See, this white feminism stuff that we all as Black women and you, I can see you just all caught up in have subscribed to. I am not an individual. Sister Son is for the people. It's not about what my
Well,
status
I'm
is.
sure
It's
we
about
are
what
for
my
the
people's
people.
status is. And yes, my people are suffering. So don't ask me about
Why?
who I am because
Why are we
I
suffering?
am not an individual.
Are
I
we
am not an
suffering because
individual.
of white supremacy or are we
Yo,
suffering
it
because
is
of
because of white
us?
supremacy because we don't even have
Because how do
clean
some
drinking
of
water
us
in
make it
Flint,
out
but we
and
got
some of
$50
us
billion
don't?
for the Ukrainians.
Hey,
How
How
I'm
about
do
you
sorry.
answer that
I need to
goddamn
respond to
question?
Monique's question.
I love it. It's passionate, but hang on. Let's everybody deep breath real quick. Let's get it under control, please. We can't
Hey,
have
it's all under
everybody
control.
yelling
Hey,
over
hey,
each other.
this is a Black Alpha debate. This is how we do things. It's uncut. But Brother Marcel, the floor
Okay.
is yours.
So, Monique, I'm going to answer your question actually. Do you know, and I'm going to go from history to now, during the days of slavery, there were free Black people. Hell, there were even wealthy Black people. Some of those Blacks enslavers that some of these idiot people want to bring up to try and make it seem like that's going to be a counter against reparations. Some of them were wealthy enough and bought their family members and friends to freedom. Okay, during the days of Jim Crow and redlining, the majority of Black Americans lived in absolutely disgusting poverty, but there were wealthy Black Americans too. The same way we know that sexual assault against women is a big issue. but there are many women who have never been sexually assaulted and will not. There are always exceptions, okay? But you can't say that because some women have not been sexually assaulted or abused, that means that sexual assault against women is not an issue. The truth of the matter is, this is why I deal with data, because data trumps our personal experience. The truth of the matter is, according to what the U.S. statistics, and I can always post this anybody want me to, the average white American family has around $200,000 in wealth, compared to the average Black American family, which is $24,000 and declining. 20% of Black American families are in the negatives. So, Monique, either you are saying that something is wrong with Black Americans, or the answer, which this is the truth, it was wrong, the things that were done to us, which has led to the condition in which we're in. And pointing at some exceptional people like Oprah Winfrey and other Black Americans that have made it successfully is not any sign that there has not been issues. We still do not suffer from those lingering things of anti-Black government sanction that really didn't end on paper to the 1970s. And because check this out, I'm going to end with this here. Even a college-educated, full-time employed Black American still has less wealth than a white high school dropout, because that college-educated Black American is less likely to have access to land, is more likely to have to take care of relatives who live in poverty. It's been that way since the Jim Crow redlining era, and it continues that way now.
Monique.
I just don't. I'm sticking by what I said. I don't. What is keeping? It's a personal issue. It's an individual issue. Yes, we all can speak for the people, for us as a conglomerate. But what I'm asking is specific to you, Sister Sean. What is holding you back? There is nothing holding me back from being successful.
Okay,
There's nothing
let me
holding
just
you
give
back
you a
from being
present day. I can
successful.
take you back
Well,
on
why do
some
y'all
madness
want
of
to
history.
handicap us? It seems like that's what y'all.
Let me just give you a present day, Monique, Miss Monique. A present day that is affecting a foundation of Black Americans and freedmen is, first of all, we know in this country, part of our wealth is stipulated on equity in our homes. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree.
Okay. Do you know, have you been reading the headlines, how these appraisers and have been historically taking and lowballing the appraisals and the equity value of our homes because we were Black, to the point where people had to fake like they were white people in order to get a high appraisal? Do you not understand the impact of that? The impact of
See,
that is we often need our equity in our homes to send our children to college. We need the equity in our homes to take care of emergency situations. We need the equity in our home to catapult and maybe to elevate and do repurchase of subsequent real estate to build wealth. So when we got these white folks, all right, and these low baller appraisals come into our houses, and if it's a white woman that owns the house is worth $100,000. But if you know that you Black, they're valuing our house at 50. That means you just stole $50,000 from me. That's a present day example, sister, of white supremacy in the system. And let me just take you back. Let's go back. I take you way back to some history. Let me dig your feet in the dirt. Okay, let's talk about this damn
well,
Homestead Act.
let's
Excuse
address.
me.
Let's.
Excuse me.
We got to keep the
The
room moving.
Homestead Act. No, I got to get this out because you got to understand
We
this. The Homestead
well,
Act.
let
We
me
already know.
address that first issue. That first issue, I think I know of a story you may be referring
It ain't
to.
a story.
It,
It's multiple
it was.
stories. Don't try to smooth
It's
it over like no goddamn
listen,
ice cream.
Sister Sean,
listen,
This is how
Linda,
we been
let her
stealing
go.
our wealth.
Linda, listen, Linda, listen. There was a story in California, and I'm not saying it's not it's not widespread or anything. What I'm saying is, I understand what you're saying. There was a case in California that I read up on not too long ago, where there was this woman, this black family who got their home appraised, and it was low market value. But when a white person posed as the homeowner, that the appraiser gave him a higher price. That is wrong. I'm not saying, never have said that something like that is right. It is not right. But when something like that happens, you don't just go out and blame the whole system, because that's not the
No, no,
whole
no, no, no,
system.
no. See, this is where you're
That's
wrong.
not the
See,
whole
you trying
system.
to ice cream, you trying to sugarcoat it.
Let
This
me
is widespread.
finish. Let
This is
me
not just one
finish.
incident. This
Let
is just
me
something that has came
finish.
to our attention.
When okay, and
Okay,
it's
so
being dealt
you
with.
trying to
It's being dealt
sugarcoat.
with.
You
The
can't
best
Yes,
way
sugarcoat
to
shit,
lukewarm.
deal with
baby.
that, the best way
Monique, you
to
trying
deal
to
with that,
sugarcoat shit.
the
You
best
can't
way
sugarcoat
to
shit
deal
because it
with
still
that,
stinks.
if you don't let me talk, the best way to deal with that is to get into that appraisal office and shake some shit up. Sue those people. Sue whoever that was for discrimination. And if it works out the way you claimed it worked out, you will win that lawsuit. You get in these appraisals. Listen, I own a home in a different city than the city I'm in now. Every year, my appraisal rates go up. Every year it goes up. That means my taxes is going up every year. So what most black people don't understand is that, I know this is a separate issue from what you raised, but when you get these high appraisal rates, most black people rent. Most black people not buying homes. They're renting. So when their landlord gets high appraisal rates, their rents go up. That's taking more money out of their pocket. And they don't know that they can go down to the tax office and fight that value. It's a separate issue from what you raised, but the issue you raise is important, because what I'm trying to get at is that we need to learn how to fight these issues and stop blaming it on something. Stop saying it's the system this and the system that, and go up there and figure out why that happened. I'm sure that family did that, and if that family takes that to court, that family likely has a case and come out some millionaires behind that. We need to start fighting these issues in a meaningful way. Stop trying to blame something on something just to find a scapegoat and be like, oh, well, we need to do reparations because we ain't got no home equity. Go get your home equity if you want your home equity. If you feel and can pinpoint a issue with your home that your appraisal district is not faring out fairly in your favor, then you have a case. You have a case and we agree. We agree something should be done about that.
All
Next
right.
question.
All right, cool. Now we start wrapping up the space. So all the speakers that we bring up, please, question statement under 60 seconds, please. Please help us out. Please. So that 8 hours energy, please go ahead. 60 seconds, please.
Yeah, I wanted to respond, but the things I said was already said. Thank you. I'm gonna just listen.
Say less. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Black Alpha, who you want to bring up next?
Oh, we got to bring in Brother Afro Elite, man. My brother in the building.
All right, say less. Afro Elite, go ahead. 60 seconds, please, brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real quick. I actually have to step into the bathroom just because I wanted to say something because this has been such a great debate. Shout out to you, Black Alpha, Q Gravity, Queen Alpha, and Marcel for this because this is a really good debate. Just real quick, when it comes to yeah, just real quick when it comes to debating, normal people aren't ready for debates because debates happen like split second right there. But this debate was being prepared over a week ago. We scheduled this over a week ago. So that means everybody should have came in with facts, statistics, and data to back up their points. Marcel did. I noticed that Marcel had data, facts, and history to back up everything he said. And Monique only had
Common
opinions.
sense.
Just this is my observation. You only had opinions, which shows that there was no
Which
facts
is
and there
an
was no
opinion.
data. And everything from what I've heard you say was merely your opinion about why you had bad faith arguments and opinions,
And
which
that is
leads
your
me to
opinion.
believe. Oh, well, I know Marcel had facts and you didn't. That's what I know for
That
a
is your
fact.
opinion.
That's not an opinion. He has
But
statistics. You
go
didn't.
ahead and opine on.
That is okay. All right. See, these are the bad faith arguments, which shows that there was no facts to back up what Monique had to say. Monique thought that she could beat Marcel just off of, I guess, I don't know what she thought. That's why she said she was having fun because she doesn't want to
Then
take
it's
this
probably
serious.
not good to
Because
yes.
she's going to go to bed and she's going to feel like a loser when she goes to sleep. But I want to ask Monique, did you learn anything?
Impossible.
Did you learn it? Seeing that you didn't have any data, any facts, any statistics, you didn't really know anything coming in. Did you learn something leaving?
No.
I didn't think so.
Say less. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it. Thank you, Afro Lead. Please make sure you follow Afro Lead on Twitter and
Make sure you
his
follow
Instagram
Afro Lead on
and
every
his
platform.
YouTube channel.
Every platform. Follow my brother.
Yes, sir. All right, let's go. Brother Lloyd Kelly, please go ahead. Unmute your mic and speak.
Hey everybody, and hey Marcel. I have a question. Well, first let me say this. Monique, I agree with you to the extent that I will never acknowledge white supremacy because that would mean that I'd have to acknowledge black inferiority. That being said, I'd like to ask you, do you know what systemic racism is? Because earlier in the conversation, you said that you did not believe in such a thing. So I'd just like to ask you, can you tell us what you believe systemic racism is?
I can tell you what it is not, and it is not real.
Okay, well, let me ask you this then. So if 1 out of 3 black men will go to prison between 17 and 35, and white people are half of that, are you saying that black people are inherently criminal? Or is it something in the system? Are you saying that redlining, because we don't get access to capital
Wait.
at bank?
Can you do one issue at a time?
Well, we are. It
Can we?
is one issue.
Can Monique do criminal justice real quick?
Lloyd,
Let's do the criminal
Monique,
justice real quick.
hang on. Lloyd, keep your question to one, please, because I got to keep the room moving. So please, just give her the one question and then move on, please.
So my question is, can you tell us not what systemic racism is not, but what it is?
Not real.
Well, then how do
now
you
let
say
me
that it doesn't
address.
exist?
Okay, now hold
Lloyd,
on,
let
Lord.
her finish, please.
I would like to address what you brought up with criminal justice. I guess you brought that up as an example of systemic racism. One thing about me, I was a criminal at one point in time. I'm a 4-time felon. Okay, I was arrested. I don't know how many times, and if you want to say something was systemic about that, yeah, it was me being systemically stupid for doing whatever I was doing to get arrested. Not one time did I blame that on a system. Not one time did I blame that on a white person. None of that. I was arrested. I became a felon of my own doing. You know what that's called? That's called personal responsibility. Taking responsibility for your personal actions. It was my personal. Was it those black people's personal actions that got them landed in jail, or was it not? That's my issue. Stop saying stuff is systemic when it's really based on an individual. You can't blame a whole police department going off on another issue. You cannot blame a whole police department over a couple of police officers. You cannot blame a whole church over a couple of deacons. Let's stop doing that, because then you can't pinpoint an issue to get to the crux of that issue you raise. You can't pinpoint something when you call it systemic, because now you're looking for a ghost for something that's not there. When I was going to jail, when I was getting locked up, I was getting locked up of my own accord because I was putting my hands on other folks' shit. Because I thought I was Billy Badass trying to fight who this and who that. It was my doing, not the white folks, not the system. And in fact, I would like to thank one of the judges in my case, because when I was arrested for like the third time for stealing, it was a white judge who told me that, you should be put away for a while for this because you keep getting arrested. And I told him, I said, well, I guess I'm not good at stealing, judge, if I keep seeing you. And he said, I guess not, because listen, I've been giving you chance after chance. That man should have put me away for a very long time, but he didn't. He gave me 6 months in the state jail. A white judge did that. A white Republican judge at that did that. That wasn't systemic racism. That was my doing that landed me in his courtroom X amount of times.
Monique, I got a question. Are you saying that there's no systemic racism because one white judge looked out for you?
No, that you did not hear me say that. What I said is,
I'm
first of all, I don't believe in systemic racism, period. I believe there is racism and I believe there are systems, but I don't believe you can marry the two.
Okay, that's fine. That's her opinion, Black Alpha. That's her opinion. Let's keep it moving. Zahad, unmute your mic.
I need to say something really quick, actually. I just want to give Monique some examples of systemic anti-blackness. I don't care about the racism, but systemic anti-blackness in the criminal court system. You have the fact that crimes, minor crimes, just as jaywalking, petty theft, it's been shown that white Americans can be apprehended for that at a far higher rate than black Americans, but are far less likely to be arrested. White Americans can go in front of a judge for a crime, are far less likely to be convicted, and black Americans are 3 to 4 times more likely to be convicted for the same infraction, get longer sentences, get what do you call that thing, y'all? What's the damn thing? Bond, bail, get bail launched at them that's far higher than what a white person will get. These are things that are very well documented that I can go on. So there is
and
systemic.
I'm gonna disagree with you on that, because
that's what the data
whether it's
says, Monique.
you got to give me see, and you in this data and facts and
that's what we got to go by.
We not gonna say that that's a fact. We not gonna say that. My personal experience is fact. What you're saying is opinion, okay?
No,
because
what I'm saying
unless
is
you can give
data
me a judge, unless you can give me one judge who has two a black and white defendant who has committed the same crimes, who don't have who have the same background, who come from the same area and neighborhood.
Hold on, wait a minute. I've let you talk for like the past 2 people. I ain't said nothing really because
you didn't have nothing to say.
Some of the things you said was not untrue, but this
one
you
should have stepped in and said something.
The thing you said is untrue. The American Bar Association actually verifies several things I just said. That same
they
Republican white
nothing
judge,
unless they got the same judge with the same defendants with the same crime.
That same Republican white judge that you was bigging up just now, he went through this American Bar Association that's providing this data. And if you want me to send you these links, I can definitely do that, and I definitely will.
Let's keep it going. Zahad, please unmute your mic and ask your question. 60 seconds, please.
Yo, I have to go soon because I got to get up early tomorrow.
Yes, sir. I understand.
Good afternoon.
And I can do this all night. Like Money Long said, I can go for hours.
All right, next question. Come on, 60 seconds. Let's roll them in.
Yeah, can I talk?
Yes, sir.
Yes, good evening, everyone. My name is Zayd Merriweather. I'm an American Indian from Brooklyn, New York. And I just had a comment for both Monique and Marcel. Marcel, I just want to say I'm in your corner, brother. I hope you win the race. My family's from Edgefield originally, so I hope you win. Um, with Monique, I just wanted to say that I agree with her in terms of the violence in the projects. My family's from Brooklyn, and there is a lot of shootings in Brooklyn. I don't think that the people in the hood are necessarily concerned with white supremacy, but I think Monique was being disingenuous when it comes to resources. My mother was a teacher in the New York City Board of Education for 25 years. And she's always complained about how there were no resources in the school system. Um, I mean, there weren't any pencils, books, computers. So what Monique is saying, she's being very disingenuous about that. And when
Well,
you
let me
talk
let
about,
me interrupt you real quick, and you can keep going, but let me say this. I wasn't being disingenuous. I was saying, if let's say I was speaking to your mother right now and she's telling me what you're saying, what I would then
yes,
say to her is, well, if you don't have the resources, is people in your in that do you not collect property taxes? If you are, if you have something that funds your education system, that funds your job, ask, go to your school board, ask your school administration, where is their money going? The money that these different city, local, state governments is giving your independent school district, ask them where is it going if you don't think you're being funded well. And most of the time you will find that they cannot answer that. And when
well,
you find that they cannot answer that, that is a problem you need to take up with them.
well, that's the problem, man. They're not
Hey,
getting the
brother, go ahead.
funding.
Hey, brother, go ahead and rebuttal what she said, but you got 30 seconds, man. We got to keep it pushing.
Yeah, that's the problem. They're not getting the funding. My mother taught in PS 67. She taught in 307 and Farragut projects. They were not getting the money. The government, New York City government, the board was not giving the money. I mean, my mother had to bring food in for the kids, books, pencils. They were not getting the funding. So that's the point. They weren't getting it from the city government. And I'm just going to end it here. Every nation needs resources to build. Even when you looked at ancient Rome, whenever they attacked a tribe or a nation, they build a fortified wall outside of the city and block resources from getting in. So if Black America is not getting the resources, you're not going to be able to build anything. Everything starts with resources. Before 1492, we didn't have
Hey,
black
brother,
on
brother,
black
brother.
crime.
Hey, brother, you got to land there, man. That's a good
Thank
one, man.
you. That's all I
I
want to say.
appreciate it.
Thank you very much for your time.
All right, for sure. Make sure you follow the host and donate to Brother Marcel. It's Brooklyn in the house. We talking about Brooklyn. My brother Rich is in here. He got to get the floor. I'm gonna make this real quick. I got no questions. I just want to make two comments. Be one to everyone first and foremost. I wasn't here for the beginning, but I did hear Afro Elite say that not only did the not only did Monique not bring any facts, she only brought opinions, and I find it ironic that when I debated Will, he done the same thing. He didn't bring any facts. It was just opinions, 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 opinions. And I brought me and Marcel. I heard a few what Marcel was saying. We brought facts. We brought data. We brought
And
articles. We
these
brought.
are opinions.
Okay, go. Like I said, I don't got no question for you, Monique. I just got comments. I got no
Okay, well,
question,
I got an answer for you for your non-question. What you're
I
stating
didn't
is
ask,
facts, and data
ma'am,
is actually opinion.
ma'am. I'm not interested in talking to
When you
you.
have real world, I don't care what you interested in. When you have real world experience, your
Ma'am,
data means
I'm not
nothing.
interested. You're taking up my
Your
time, ma'am.
data cannot tell
Ma'am,
me
you're
where
taking up
I'm
my
living
time,
at.
ma'am.
If uh,
Ma'am,
oh oh
I'm
oh,
not
reclaiming
interested in.
your time. Okay, Maxine, reclaim your time.
I'm not interested in talking to you, ma'am.
But
I
I'm
said I had
interested in talking
I
to
said I
you,
had comments, not questions. I'm not
and I
interested in
have
speaking to you,
answers.
and you're interrupting me. Please act like
I'm
a
sorry.
adult here. Act like an adult, please. Thank you. Like I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted. Me and Marcel, we brought facts, data,
Opinions.
statistics. Oh God, ma'am, is it the gray weave on top of your head that's stopping you from from keeping quiet while I speak? What is it?
That picture is old. I'm sorry.
All right, please, could
My
I get
hair is
my
dark
time?
now.
I'm trying to speak so I can leave. That's what I'm trying to. Could you allow me to
Reclaiming your
speak, please?
time.
Please. As I was saying, I was interrupted twice. When me and Will debated, all Will brought was opinions, and every article I mentioned, he said he never heard of it. This woman
To the
right here,
host, I think it's wrong that he's able to mention somebody and they're not able to be
no,
on here to
hey,
defend
let him,
themselves.
let him continue. Let
He
him
actually
continue.
has a unique. He's actually unique because he did do the first debate.
And
Okay,
that's my
okay,
thing.
Will did too. So Will need to come over here and defend himself against these baseless, opinionated attacks.
We gonna handle all that in the future. Go ahead, Rich, and then we gotta keep it pushing. I got one last point. My last point is the fact that I see a lot of these conservatives. You notice how a lot of them are felons. They did time in prison. You got this one over here. She said she got about 4 felonies. That Cape what's his name? King Flex King Face, whatever his name is. The dude that died of HIVs. He's another felon. You got that other dude with that be wearing that
See,
dirty
that's
ass.
an opinion. That is not a fact. And y'all
Stop
and that's
interrupting
you
me,
don't know that
please.
that man died of HIV. You don't know that.
Could
Nothing
you,
ever came out about it. It was a rumor.
could you please stop interrupting me for the third
Want to
time?
talk about fake news
Act like an adult, ma'am. Please stop
with these
interrupting me.
opinions.
These conservatives, these felons, these criminals, you notice how they love getting next to the conservatives? You got this one that's interrupting me. You got King Face, who's a convicted felon, and you got that other dusty dude that be wearing the do-rag all over the place, that other conservative. So there's a lot of these felons.
You sound like you got a lot of disgust
It's a
for
lot
these
of these
people.
it's a lot of these felons that's getting next to these conservatives because they're certified finessers. This is what they do. They get next to the conservatives, they kiss their ass, and try to get butter
I ain't
biscuits.
gotta kiss a motherfucking thing. I
Ma'am, I'm
live
not,
this shit,
ma'am.
okay? Don't know what you not
I'm
gonna
not
sit here and
speaking
do
to
is
you,
call me
ma'am.
an ass kisser. That's what you not gonna do. I ain't kissed the ass a
Ma'am,
motherfucking day in my life.
I didn't
Don't
say
come at
your
me like
name.
that.
I didn't
Cause
say
now
your
I done
name.
got offended.
I didn't say your name, ma'am. Hit dogs are hollering right now. I didn't say
Well,
your
you
name,
damn
ma'am.
sure right I'm a holler cause I don't kiss ass. That's one thing I don't do.
Do you eat butter biscuits?
Hell no.
So why you coming at me for? I didn't say your name. If you don't eat butter biscuits, then I'm not talking to you.
You said conservatives. You didn't specify. You said these felons who happen to be conservatives kiss a lot of ass, which I don't do. Thank
All right,
you.
but I also said butter biscuits. If you don't eat butter biscuits,
Reclaiming your time. Go ahead.
all right. Sorry, ma'am. Like I was saying, last point, and I'm gonna land because I'm getting interrupted. This is what they do. These convicted felons, they get around these conservatives. And by the way, King Face died, and poor King Face, that dude died of HIV/AIDS allegedly. He died of HIV/AIDS, and all Donald Trump, what's that Donald Trump's son? I forgot his name, but all that dude did was retweet his picture. They didn't pay for his funeral. All that ass kissing he did, they didn't do a goddamn thing for him. All he got was a photo
You
op.
know why? Because we
He
believe in personal responsibility. We don't think nobody need to take care of us,
And
and we
I'm sure,
know
and I'm sure you do, ma'am. I see you got a picture of Donald Trump Jr. right there on your
show do,
profile. Yeah, I'm pretty
show
sure you
do.
didn't get a damn thing
Rich,
from
Rich,
him.
Rich,
I'm
Rich.
la-
Give
And
me
I
a
last
second
ain't
point,
asked
point,
them for a
please.
damn thing either.
last point. I'm pretty sure you didn't get a damn thing from him but a picture.
And
Good
ain't
night.
asked for a damn
Good
thing.
night, hon. Good night, hon.
Yeah,
Have a
good
great
night, baby.
weekend.
Good night.
I love you,
Sleep
baby. Good
tight.
night.
All right, all
Don't
right.
let them
Mwah.
big bugs
Monique.
bite.
All right,
Mwah.
all right, all right. Alexis, you shall be our last speaker, and then I'm going to allow Marcel and Monique to give their final statements. So, Alexis, please unmute your mic and go ahead.
All right. Thank you so much for hosting this space and letting me speak. I would like to offer some perspective on systemic racism in the criminal justice system. If you can take judges across this entire country, okay, and most judges come from being prosecutors, and prosecution is 90% white and 80% male, and they're used to people being wrong or people they have to put behind bars, things of that nature. So it does so happen that if someone is black, and you can look at the same judges when they have a black defendant versus a white defendant, the white defendant for a white male judge is going to get less time. This is not something that you make up. This is the truth. So when you say, show me the one judge and had two defendants of the same people, you're never going
It's
to get
not
two
a
of them.
fact.
No, Monique, stop.
I never once interrupted you. You're never going to get two people that are the
Well,
same.
you weren't
But what
speaking
you're
while I
going
was
to
speaking.
let her continue, Monique. Go ahead, Alexa. But what you are going to get is when someone has never committed a crime before, the white boy is going to get off easier than the black boy. This is a fact of the matter in our system. So sit here and tell me that this is not true. That's fine, but that's not reality. The reality is it is an issue. Now, to the next point about how does Oprah feel about reparations, I actually don't give a damn how Oprah feels about reparations because no matter how much money she has, whether she had $0 or $20 billion, her family is still owed what they built for this country. It doesn't matter how much money a person has. Reparations is not built on for the fact that you're poor. Reparations is built on the fact that it's something that your ancestors paid into this country and the debt is owed by this country. Super simple. The last thing about why do black immigrants from other countries do better here? Because the only people that get in this country, if they're not coming from Finland or England or France, if they're coming from India or somewhere on the African continent or even some Caribbean countries, they have to have degrees to get here. So of course they're going to come in if they are like more well educated, if they're better educated than most of the people that are already here. And if they're at the top of their social class in those countries, they don't come here to live, they come here to study. They generally go to London if they're from Africa or India, get their degrees, and they go back home. Or if they come to America, they go to Boston or some top university and they go back home because they're at the top of the social class. They have no desire to stay here. The people that stay here are not in the ascendancies of their countries, and they aren't going to be at the top of the social class because now they're a doctor or a lawyer. They're making it out better over here than they would be at home. End of damn story. Hey, good point, sister. We appreciate it. Hey, the hard truth. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm just gonna make it quick. First of all, shout out to all y'all. But my whole thing is growing up, and I'm just speaking my experience. Growing up, I would hear about all of these things when it comes to systemic racism. You would hear all the examples of how people are mistreated in the judicial systems, in their businesses, in their jobs, in their homes, their land, their property. And as I grew up, you know what? I got exposed to actual stories where people were caught. You understand what I'm saying? That's one of the major things we see, even with body cameras. It's just a tidbit. People are caught. When you see these things, that's just what we caught. So the evidence is there. I'm not gonna let anybody sit here and tell me that it ain't what it ain't. Well, excuse me, it ain't what it is. It is what it is, and you can call it opinion or not, man. Systemic racism is real. Period.
It just seems like y'all have a bunch of built up anger, tension, and it needs to be let out. And you're looking for
I have no
somebody to
built-up
let it
anger and
out on. And
tension.
apparently it's the system that can't be brought down. And there's a white boogeyman out there that y'all looking for but can't seem to find.
Go ahead, Alexis. Go ahead, say what you're gonna say. I'm gonna say no. I'm not looking for a white boogeyman. I listen. It it's very simple when it comes to this. If you have a system in which judges can be investors in private prisons, that should send you a message right there. And let's take this black.
Alexis,
No, Monique, please be quiet so I can say what I have to say. Why was it in North Carolina that a young black boy, 6 years old, was waiting for the bus and he wanted to pick some flowers, and they happened to be flowers that were in a white woman's yard. She got upset. She called the cops. The cops came. They arrest the little boy. The little boy ends up in juvenile court. And his lawyer, a white woman, was like, I had to give him crayons to color because he didn't understand what's going on. How in the hell can a 6-year-old who was waiting for the bus pick some flowers, have a white woman call the cops on him, then the cops come out and then arrest 6-year-old boy? Then the prosecutor says, you know what, let's bring charges against this boy. And then a judge is going to hear a case without dismissing this. So tell me that would have
will
happened
you
to
send
a
me
no.
listen, baby, I just want you to send me that story. I like
Oh,
to be
I'll
well
send it to
versed
you
on
right
that.
now. Let me go grab it.
Yeah, do that for
Yeah,
me. And
well, yeah,
another
Alexis,
thing,
send it to her in the DM.
If
I am going to
you
send it to her the DM. But see, she's going to sit here and say, "Oh, this is not real," but I'm going to go do it
I
right
listen.
That's
now.
I didn't
fine.
say
That's
that
fine.
case
You leave
wasn't
that up
real.
to her.
I don't know
Let's keep the
nothing
room
about that
moving.
case, and I'm asking that you send that to me so that I can learn. But what I'm saying is systemic racism is not real, and if you're saying that systemic racism is real, I want to ask you: when was the last time? Well, in the criminal justice system, if it's real, when was the last time you ran for DA? When was the last time you served on a? You know what a lot of black peoples don't do is a
Okay,
lot of black people
Monique.
don't serve on juries. I get a lot of my family members and friends who call me asking me how can they get out of jury duty. If you want to fix a system, you got to fix it from the inside. Get on these juries. Serve on these juries. When
Okay,
the last time
Monique.
you served on a jury? When the last time you went
Mo-
and
Mo-
ran for a
Monique, I can
judge?
answer this.
When the last time you went
Okay,
and applied to be a police officer?
Monique. Oh, I can answer this question for you. I was just in a text thread where I actually advocated for more people going into law and working as prosecution because there's prosecutorial discretion, which you should be dismissing cases that don't, you shouldn't even bring charges for cases that don't make sense. I did not go to law school, so I can't, I'm not going to run for that. I didn't
You
go to
can.
law school because my
You know,
dumb,
in a lot of these states and localities, you can
sir, again,
absolutely
Monique,
run for
like,
something
I
like that
can't
and not be
talk.
well versed in the law.
Okay, so Monique, if I may answer this, my uncle told me when I was 16, when I said I wanted to be a criminal defense attorney, he was like, no, be a prosecutor, you have much more power. My first job at 16 years old was at the DA's office in the county where I grew up, which is a county that is 97% white. So all the people that got railroaded in the justice system were poor white people. I know they exist. But I was like, this is a really boring job because it's not like Law and Order. So I did not go that route. I look back at it now, I'm like, perhaps I
You
should
still have
have.
time. Yes, you still
Oh,
have
oh,
time.
oh, oh, oh,
You look young
see,
and ready.
I'm 42 years old, and of course I have time.
Black don't crack, baby, because that picture is beautiful, and I think you should absolutely get into law.
Well,
Hey, we got to keep it
I've already
pushing.
had a successful career, and I am semi-retired. I don't feel like doing anything else. But you know what? Perhaps I should do those things. Now, all that to say is I have the article ready. I'm not sure. Oh, I can DM it to you. Okay.
Yeah, DM it to
I'm
her.
gonna I'm gonna
DM it
I'm
to her.
gonna send it to her now, and I want her to read it and then talk about it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we appreciate that.
All right, brother Will, you're gonna be the last speaker, and then I'm gonna let Marcel and Monique go because a nigga is tired.
All right. Good evening again, guys. I just wanted to chip back in because I heard Rich said it in our debate that he gave facts. That was false. And Rich mentioned an economist that he knew nothing about their plan. He did not know how much the guy was claiming or asking for. When he mentioned the LAPD, I said, "What?" I said, "What article are you speaking of?" He couldn't say the article. He said, "I think it's in the year 2008." So no, he did not come with facts. I came with the facts. Rich came with opinions that were strong and then pivoted on the host. And I'm not taking shots at you guys, but he pivoted on the host being his friends that he could run away from me asking him, what fact are you talking about? Then he went on to white supremacy. So no, Rich, you did not bring facts. You brought opinions. Now, if you would like to have a real debate with me again, and you want to debate about facts, I'm open to that. But to get up here and say you presented facts, no, you didn't. Your co-host had to help you out. I sent the article in that they put up in Jumbotron because you didn't have an article. You referred to articles that you didn't even mention yourself. I said, well, what is this guy's plans? I'm not tied to him. I don't know his plans, but you're saying that you want cash, cash. So nah, bro, you don't debate facts, bro. You stake strong opinions, and you hide behind your tribe, you hide behind everybody who got your back. That's what you do, brother.
Sir, I gave you a spanking.
You did no spanking. You
Hold up,
had
hold up.
no
I let you
facts.
speak.
You had
I let you
nothing.
speak.
You had nothing.
I let you
You
speak. I let
no.
you
It's
speak.
not about letting me
I
speak,
let
bro.
you
Because if
speak.
you're gonna
I
speak, you
let
gotta
you
come with
speak.
facts. You ain't
I
coming with
let
no
you speak,
facts.
sir. I let you speak. You're behaving like Monique right now. I let you speak. Sir,
Now,
I
I've
need.
been behaving
Oh
myself this
God.
whole time.
Oh
I went
God.
to go and read this article, and here you
Can
is
I
bringing up
speak,
my name.
please?
Let me be great. Don't bring up my name then. Next. Let me
Sir, Go ahead,
finish
Rich
this
and Will.
article where this
Hey,
case was dismissed.
we'll get to that in a minute. Go ahead, Rich and Will. Go ahead, you guys.
Yeah, like I
sir, I
said, if he wants to have a debate with me,
I let you
if
speak,
he wants to
sir.
have a debate with me
Sir,
and
I
debate
let you
about
speak.
facts, We can
You're
do that.
behaving like
But when you
you're
said
Mammy
that you
Monique over
mentioned
there.
facts, yeah, because the host told me and you to go at it. So again, I got the host
Sir, I
permission.
let you
One thing
speak.
about me, I'm very
Sir,
respectful. I respect everyone.
I
Now you're
let
gonna
you
let me get
speak.
this out because now a
I
second ago
let
I
you
couldn't
speak.
talk.
I
No,
let you
you're gonna let
speak.
me speak again because a
Host,
second ago I
could you
could not
mute this
talk.
guy?
No,
I
because
let him
you
speak.
listening to
Hey,
me
hold on, whoa,
for
whoa,
a
whoa,
long
whoa,
time.
whoa. Hold on, boy. Hey, Black Alpha Network. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to me on YouTube. Make sure y'all donate to Brother Marcel. Go ahead, Brother Rich, and then Will let him go, and then we'll go back and forth, 1, 2, and then we gotta wrap it. So Rich go, Will, you can go ahead after him, and then we'll keep it pushing because it's getting late.
As I was saying, I was rudely interrupted. I mentioned about 6, 7 articles when I debated this guy, and every single article I mentioned, he said he never heard of it. He needs for me to send it to him. God is my witness, and everybody that was there is my witness. I I mentioned several articles, and every single article I mentioned, he didn't know what I was talking about, and he wanted me to send the article. Now I find it ironic that he wanted me to send the article, and then you got this other woman over here. I'm not gonna say her name because she likes to holler a lot, but she just requested for someone else to send her article. So these are just a bunch of people who don't know nothing, and they just want other people to send them articles so they can educate themselves. This is who we're dealing with here. People who don't know what they're speaking about. They want you to educate them. No, I did the education already, and since you were conservative, you should have had the information on hand already. So this is the type of people we're dealing with here. I spank Will, Marcel spanked Monique, and now they're butt hurt over here crying and catching temper tantrums. Sir, you caught an L. I spanked you, bro.
I only get spanked in bed, baby.
Please stop. Please, no, don't mention
Well,
it.
you shouldn't have said nothing.
No.
Well, again and again,
Will, you caught a spanking.
yeah, no. I never called a
You hurt.
spanking. I never
It's
called a
okay,
spanking, bro.
brother. It's okay. I still got love for you,
What
brother.
you did was
Y'all,
you did this the
let me
first time
say
we.
good night. Let me say good
No,
night,
no.
y'all. Okay.
All right, Marcel. Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah. But Marcel was like, I got
great
to
Hey,
go,
debate.
fellas.
let Brother Marcel go ahead and speak, man. I salute that brother. Make sure you guys, everybody in here, go donate to my brother.
Thank you. First of all, I want to say I really enjoyed tonight as well. Um, like I said, Monique, I don't know why you call yourself being against reparations because all you said is that you don't think throwing money will fix the problem. Okay, well, if money won't fix the problem, then let's throw money at it. Let's throw some other policies in it too. But my thing is this: the Democrats have absolutely failed Black Americans. They absolutely do want illegal immigrants to replace us. They absolutely do want us to abort our babies while telling illegal immigrants that they can stay in America because of their babies, telling Black Americans to abort ours. And they want to take our guns from Black Americans while we definitely need them. We need to be having more of them. That being said, reparations is a centerpiece of my platform. I am going to stand on that, not going to back down from that. And no matter how many Republicans might find my message appealing because of me being against immigration, abortion, and gun confiscation, if they have a problem with reparations, they're going to have a problem with me. And that's just the facts. We can't talk about personal responsibility in a nation that pretty much gave white Americans over trillions of dollars, whether it was form of land from Homestead Act or whether it was the trillions from the GI Bill. And there were several Homestead Acts, the Social Security Act, the Wagner Act. All of those things gave white Americans pensions, labor unions for higher wages, protections, you name it. After Black Americans get the compensation for being left out of all of those things, then we can start talking to Black Americans about personal accountability. Until then, anyone that wants to talk about personal accountability, handouts, look through a photo album of white Americans and tell them and their descendants that, not Black Americans.
I got to chime in real quick. Everybody make sure you go donate to Brother Marcel. And Brother Marcel, I got to give you this. I like how you represent for the low country, man, that South Carolina, Georgia border. I'm right on the other side in the seaport, Savannah, brother. And we support you all the way, man. All the way. I
Oh,
know about the
good.
low
Well,
country.
that's where I was born, Savannah, Georgia. I'm right across the bridge, in Hardyville, Ridgeland area. So, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, brother
912
Marcel,
on
I
the
gotta
other
get
side.
some of that tomato and okra gumbo, brother.
Right, tomato okra gumbo. So anyway, I really, honestly, I enjoy speaking with Monique, and I'm going to say this, y'all. not defending her for anyone who's mad at her or whatever, but I'm just gonna be honest. And I've said this before in my interviews. I've heard way nastier. I've had way nastier things said about me, said about black people from these so-called white liberals who are trying to get us to abort our babies, and that's the God's honest truth. The few times I've had been called the N-word and monkey memes have been for some of these same people. I go through their Twitter thread and I see them talk about burn, fail to burn, and vote for Joe. So I'm just going to leave that there.
Appreciate that, brother. One
Miss
love.
Monique, you may speak and end off and let the people know your final thoughts.
I ain't got no final thoughts.
Say less. All right, Black Alpha, I will end it off, but I'm going to let you get your statement in because you've been sitting patiently and I know you got a lot to say.
Yeah, you know it's hard for me to be quiet for too long, man. I got to get it in. I appreciate everybody who came through. Black Alpha Debates, we're going to do this thing all summer long. Anybody who wants to be in the debate, hit me up. I already got like 6 or 7 DMs already. Everybody wants to get in. I appreciate how everybody comes here and they just let it flow because we do things real. This ain't no prim and proper. This ain't the presidential campaign. This ain't England. Ain't nobody button up in suit and ties. We come real. This is no different than in your household. That's the way we want to represent it. Anybody who's familiar with the Black Alpha Network, me, Queen Alpha, you know our whole mission is just to bring reality and to keep it thorough because if you're being real, everything's good. It's that fake shit that's the problem. Also, everybody stay safe out there. You know, stay together, look over your corner, look over your shoulders, make sure everybody is in packs because it is real out here. We are living in an anti-black race world. That's facts, and everybody needs to understand that. So stay safe, stay strong, everybody stay thorough, stay together. Make sure you subscribe to the Black Alpha Network on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to my brother Kid Gravity on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to my brother Afro Elite on YouTube and follow all of us. Follow Queen Alpha, and I'm gonna let Queen Alpha go ahead and say her piece real quick.
Actually, I was just gonna let Will get off because he was next.
Go ahead, Will. Say your last piece, brother, and then we got to wrap it up.
Hey, yeah, this great debate tonight. Looking forward to the next debate. Y'all be blessed.
Appreciate it, family.
Yes, sir. All right, let's.
Hey, brother Rich. Hey, I gotta. You know, Will go. Rich gotta go. Go ahead, Rich.
I just want to say I spanked this nigga Will so bad he over here posing like he Malcolm X in his picture. Good night. My bad.
Hey, let it be known, Rich ain't got a real picture up. How about that? Keep it moving.
Hey, we'll get part 3 up in here. Everybody look forward to that. We'll get part 3. Black Off of the Base. Anybody want to pull up? Pull up. That's how we do it. Go ahead, Kid Gravity. I'll let you rock. Everybody subscribe to me on YouTube. Everybody. Whoa. Queen Alpha, go ahead and give everybody your peace out.
I just want to thank everybody for coming out and support and, just be one everybody. Certified Black Society. We just got to stick together. And there is absolutely systemic racism. Love y'all.
All right, Kid Gravity, is your show, baby. Everybody subscribe to the channel. Make sure you catch us on the next go around. Stay safe. Black is beautiful and beautiful is black.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you for everyone coming out. I know it's a little late and we went in, but it was spirited. I hope you guys took notes. I hope everybody stay safe out there. And like Black Alpha said, follow us, follow Afro Lee, follow Tori and Rain. The new black media is here to stay, and we are here to inform the people. So take care, stay safe. If you're B1, your time is now. If you're not B1, your time is coming. So take care, stay safe. Everybody have a blessed night.